What?
Smart jacket, by the way. I like that. I couldn't see that in the shitty lighting of the Xerxes.
All right.
Because we were like 9 seats away.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Wileyverse, where we got some changes this week to the thing.
What?
If you don't know what the Wileyverse is, we're a group of guys that drink and play some Dungeons & Dragons. But we've... it's New Year. You know, new... Huh? Believe. New year, new me. I've got a new webcam, so I'm coming in clearer and sharper than ever.
Is that supposed to be the kitty dice?
Huh?
Is that supposed to be the kitty dice?
No. We bought a kitty cam to try to take a video of our dice. That's the base of it right there.
No, I didn't know about this.
And here
we're all learning things right now.
Here's the cam. It would be sitting right over top. It would be plugging into that base and go right over the top of the kitty. But it is not coming through at a great resolution. And I don't know if it's what I bought or that we have too many cams going in right now through one computer.
This sounds crazy. Can I run my phone through it? Can I like film dice rolls? Be like, oh, just for the fun of it real fast?
I mean, if you want.
I mean, would it work? Like, would it stream?
It wouldn't stream,
okay,
no.
Well then.
So that's having a kitty cam with our dice is a bit delayed. We've also upgraded from regular OBS to Streamlabs OBS.
Oh.
So that no one else can see this, but it's off to my side right here. We had a friend donate, and he gave us some pretty interesting messages in his donation, his tip notes essentially.
The Wolfmaster?
No, we had 2 gin bottles.
Gin.
Yeah, 2 gin bottles was donating to us. He was making fun of us in the tip notes, but we couldn't see what he was saying because OBS is something different. So on Streamlabs OBS, unfortunately I can't show you people at home, but we have this event thing. So anytime someone subscribes, donates, whatever, it pops up on this events thing, so we don't have to just watch for the banner to go by. We can see it happen. We can see what the last person did stuff, but we can also see these tip notes like you owe me a gin and tonic. So.
Oh, I bought it.
Yeah.
Did you ever get that, by the way?
You did? Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I fucked it up that first time.
I know.
Hey. I'm a busy man.
But yeah, new camera for me. We're working on a dice cam. We're on a new platform for streaming. This one should have some better stream health. It should have better feedback to us. So...
Can't see ourselves, though.
Can't see yourselves because it's like, way down here.
Can you move that way down there a little bit? Hey. There we are.
So.
You can't perform unless I can see myself.
That's like because we won't be able to see that.
But we'll see the event pop up here.
Oh, that's cool too then.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
And actually, you see these little circles? Like, I can replay an event. So I can make it look like
you get donated 9
like
times.
we're just getting donation like it's raining on us. I can just keep hitting it.
Maybe we should change it to Zernax Pit Pockets here, so when you donate, it's like Pit Pockets, like click.
That is what it says now. It doesn't say Zerdax though. It says pickpocketing check against and the name. Wileyverse gains X amount of money.
Wow, that's it.
Yeah.
It says you failed your pickpocket.
No, we succeeded. Like we succeeded our pickpocket and gained X amount of money.
Gotcha.
When that happens, you should have that be like a time when somebody actually tries to pickpocket someone in the party.
Well, someone has to donate.
All right, let's explain donate.
All the better.
Okay. We're just going to become an all-thief game.
Let's go to twitch.com.
No, I'm just saying. No, not one of us, but like we're going around an adventure, or we're going around a city and stuff like that. Somebody donates and stuff like that, and somebody in the...
Oh, someone pickpockets you?
Yeah, and then, somebody, a random street person pickpockets us.
All right, viewers, you can steal directly from my party. Screw them over. Are you donating? Is that what you're doing?
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to donate. I don't know how to do this. So.
There's a button below the stream.
You also have to have money.
On the phone, it's a little different.
Yeah, a little different.
We might have to...
Yeah, who knows? a couple other things that I'm introducing or reintroducing or clarifying, because we're always learning, we're always progressing in this game.
Bam. I'll have to set up like a PayPal and stuff.
Yeah.
Except you have the YouTube button on the PayPal one.
All right. So, inspiration. I want to remind. There's a reminder about inspiration. If you have inspiration, you can give it to another player.
I do not remember that.
Okay, but you can't just say they really need it right now. You can only give it to them if you think they've done something inspiring to you, played in character, funny, whatever it is. Basically, the same reasons I would give inspiration, you can give your inspiration away to someone else.
So what about? Oh, the way you did not avoid that trap really inspired me.
But then they already got hit by the trap. So,
Yeah.
The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to try a thing out.
Oh, fucking Fringe Lord over there.
It's not gonna happen. Stop trying to make Prince Lord happen.
I was gonna say, also, that wasn't very applicable.
Yeah. So
Yeah, thank you.
another thing I'm going to try out is this. So I'm about progression. I'm about characters going outside their bounds. I made this game super simple. We're not using feats. We're not going outside a lot of the boundaries. We're not doing multi-class, anything like that. But
We're not doing multi-class because I was.
yeah, we're not doing multi-class. No.
Right, now you can say.
But now we can. But now we are. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay, sorry. Please.
You can still not multi-class. Sorry.
Thank you.
But to give a little bit more customization to characters, we're going to do this thing that if you already have inspiration and I try to give you inspiration again, you need to let me know. You can say, I already have it. And I put a tally down on a secret little meter over here. When that hits a certain amount, something you're working towards dings and you learn something new. So you guys need to start thinking about additional languages, tool sets, game sets, musical instruments, skills, proficiencies, just about anything in the game that's not kind of a passive or active. Like you can't like willingly become better at perception, but you can start learning about history or nature.
But they're on the same list.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So finally reward system. So you're trying to reward all the fucking showboating that Dayton does in these games.
We actually have not started yet, Wes. We started early because Dayton got off early.
Why are you pointing at me? Oh yeah, because of the angle.
So Dayton got off early, so we started late. But I'm just talking about some general
we
things.
haven't started yet. We've just been talking about like new cams and
we got new cams, we got a new platform, we got other stuff. I should be coming in much clearer now, though I do have an auto exposure which I don't like. But if I turn it off, it screws up the cam.
maybe that's why he's so sad. You can see you clearly.
I know you can see me way more clearly now. So you guys need to come up with something that you're working towards, a language, a new proficiency in something that, as long as it's within your character, we'll start doing this inspiration to work towards that. We'll talk more about that.
You know what I noticed that 5th edition doesn't have anymore for skills is profession. You remember profession skills?
Well, profession is backgrounds now.
It's true. Yeah.
I was
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So brewing, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But in this case, you can use this inspiration.
Tool proficiencies became the new professions.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can be like, I have brewer's tools now because I learned how to brew, or whatever it is. So we'll talk more about that out of character, about what you're working towards, but I'm going to start the tallies tonight. There's a limit to how many of these things you can get, so it is capped by your level, essentially. But I'm going to keep tally of them constantly. So the more inspiration you get while having inspiration, the faster you work towards these milestones.
So are you telling me the harder I play the charming dumbass, the quicker I will learn
but
the tongue of the
not
beholder.
disruptive. So that's not in the...
It's gotta happen naturally.
It has to come naturally.
Non-disruptive.
You've never forced your way into inspiration yet.
I'm a pretty.
I mean, you can keep trying.
I don't think
All right.
that was her name there, mate.
He didn't force.
All right. So, with that all out of the way,
Are you talking about Zexoralish? The Beholder? Zexoralish. I'm sorry.
welcome to the Wileyverse. We are playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition. This is the campaign, or this is our Dragonborn campaign. Here's our little synopsis. A lot's going on. Everyone here is playing a Dragonborn. They're all from the same clan called Goldath, a very wealthy, prolific clan.
From Tyrmanther.
From Tyrmanther. Tyrmanther is under siege by evil forces everywhere. They've been pushed to the brink of extinction almost. They're just barely hanging on to one little coastline in their homeland. And these adventurers have gotten a quest, possibly from a god, to go out and save their homeland. And that has entailed getting attacked by drakes, who they mistook for dragons, and then meeting real dragons later on.
Oh,
those things. But you haven't even seen a real dragon yet.
No.
But now they are in possession of a piece of metal that may be a god weapon. It may be a piece of god metal. It may be a divinely imbued piece of rock on this plane. They just need to get it somewhere to forge it and turn it back into the weapon, the final form, the whatever it's supposed to be, and the final MacGuffin. And this thing is supposed to help them save their homeland. So people tell them. Their adventures have taken them to Neverwinter. From Neverwinter, they are trying to get to the Great White North, where a forge that can possibly shape this weapon exists, but everyone is out to get them. Like, there is the Cult of the Dragon, Tiamat's followers, a possibly real dragon in the guise of a noble who tried to bamboozle them. But they're now trying to fly under the radar, charter a ship, throw some red herrings out, and get to this northern reach, to this forge, ancient dwarven forge. Currently, they're on the Boltifnifer, a ship from the north, populated by pretty much Northmen. They're Utgardi people, very, very Viking, Norse-like people. They have poured their hearts out to these people, shared wine, shared drink, shared meals, and all kinds of bragging. And they think they have a ship. Now they just have to seal the deal and set whatever other plots they have into motion. So the stage is set where you are at the meal inside the galley, the officer's dining room in the Boltifnifer. Boltifnifer. The Boltifsnife, if you don't want to say Boltifnifer.
Led by
Ronve
Bolton's daughter.
Boltif's daughter. Yeah. Boltif's daughter.
It's not an I. Bolton's daughter. Oh. Daughter.
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 There are several other people in there. There was a square-jawed man. There was a scraggly-beard man. There was a timid girl. There was
a timid girl, and I have on my notes that every girl's crazy about a strong furred pelt man.
The bear pelt man, and then there's the Herseer, who's got the big axe.
Which one was that?
He was the guy that led you in. He sat at the other end of the table.
Yes.
The Herseer.
Herseer.
All right. It is late in the evening. You have filled your bellies with drink and food. Ayasa and the two of you have told a grand tale
We did spin some tails with
You
these
did spin some
people.
tails, and you have clasped hands with just about everyone at the table that you are now in this together. Like, your honor is entwined to get you to the north and continue your journey.
If I'm not mistaken, like they're kind of just in this for the glory, aren't they?
Well,
They
it helps that...
They want to cut, I'm sure.
No, they don't. Well, they're going to get paid. Never Ember is going to take care of that bill, though.
Right.
They are already going north. They have cargo already.
They're kind of doing what I did, giving back to their people by traveling and trading and doing that kind of
But
thing.
now, like, for them, it's all about the epics and the tale you can tell your gods when you die. And if they could be a part of what you hope and they hope is an epic tale, even if it's across the world, that helps them.
Because they were going to tell us, like, oh, fuck, I don't care about your king's gold and all that stuff like that. Because I forgot, I knew that Lord Neverember was going to, I confused his help being to get those rogue ships to...
He's going to do that too.
He's going to do that as well.
He's going to pay for as many ships as you want to sail out under the guise of you being on them.
What does he want out of this?
He wants to make up...
He knows us now.
He wants to make up for the fact that he let a dragon into his kingdom.
How noble of him. Take notes, Lord Severa.
So, you guys have some plans to make. We can leave the RPing of them aside. You're gonna have a lot of RP time with them on the thing. Your plan was to get thrown off this vessel,
or at least
run off. Thrown into the water or whatever. But you didn't get it, and then go to another vessel and hire it. Are you doing that now? Is that the plan for the end of this night?
Anything else you want to talk to these guys about?
I don't recall necessarily that we would.
I would like to know how far north they intend to go.
They're taking us all the way.
They're taking you all the way to Ironmaster.
Okay.
But the only stop they want to make is Fireshear.
Which is where?
So Fireshear, do you know also?
The map of the Sword Coast? Absolutely, in my mind.
Yeah. Let me go back and let me pull it up.
You should pin that, by the way, so you can find it easy.
So, remember Luskin, this thing right here,
Yeah.
the racist assholes?
Yes.
Okay, Fireshear is right there. So, they will take you from Neverwinter all the way to Fireshear without
That's
stop.
like the Juno of the Sword Coast.
And then they will take you from Fireshear all the way to Ironmaster without stop.
Can you pin that just so we can...
Yes, I will.
That's quite ideal.
But the only reason is they have cargo, and they want to get to Fireshear before it gets ice locked. And Fireshear's bay completely freezes over, and they're one of the few ships that can kind of wade up into the ice towards the end of it, but their dock completely shuts down. And it's not the first time you've heard this. There was a couple of other ships that said the same thing, that they're trying to get up to Fireshear to drop off cargo before it ice locks.
Before we close this ousting business, Master Xanax, I would like to... I am curious. These other ships that the Lord Neverember is granting us, are they too going as far north? Or are they only going so far north that eventually we will be alone in sea?
So, last time we talked, they go for a certain distance before Neverember's men debark. And at that point, they're to do whatever they want. They're not going as far north as we are. We're going to be the only one that goes all the way.
You also...
So we'll be
all your other ones you should hire to go to like Fireshear or to Luskin.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't hire one to go all the way to Ironmaster because that tells everyone where you're going.
Yeah.
And it's up to you what you tell these other ships that where you're going. It's not up to them.
I just want to make sure it's not so obvious that like all the ships break away and then here we are by ourselves.
We're all going to head in the same direction for some time.
Yes.
It will still be vulnerable. It'll just be less obvious which boat we're on. Also, we're sending land convoy as well.
Yes, I know. Yes. We all know the plan, but
We all know the plan.
Then let's get on with it.
All right. So
Pitter patter, let's get at her.
Which one of you is deciding to kick me off your ship? Huh? This is you. And I turned to the. I don't know if he was a druid or an ancient cleric. The one I passed the axe to, and he did like a.
Mm-hmm.
He did a little
Bear
geo.
cloak, right?
Bear cloak, yeah.
Yeah. Bear cloak. Thank you. Yeah. I'm doing it jovially, But so who's going to kick us off the ship? Is it you? Who's going to kick me off the ship? I say.
They all look at each other, and the Hearser goes, for you? Astrid. And they point at the timid girl, and she's like, oh, like embarrassed, looks down, and everyone laughs.
I'm embarrassed for her. I'm like, please, come on. She looks like a fine girl.
He takes my inspiration.
Oh yeah, we don't start with the inspiration. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We
don't start with it.
We don't start it, then I don't have it then.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha.
All right. So.
Thank you. I need to get rid of mine too.
What's the plan? They throwing you off?
Yeah, in not so many words. Yeah, it's time to go. We had picked the Siren's Tide, right? Was the one we decided to.
You had another one in.
These are your
High
High
Shoal. Sorry,
Gosh.
High Shoal.
High Shoal. A water deep vessel.
Mm-hmm. There was a Limber. This one was captured. Obviously, this is the one that was.
So
we don't want to. Oh, the bolt tube. That's us.
Yeah.
You're on the Bolt of Knifer. There was the Cross Drift, which you knew was mercenary. Oh no, sorry. The Bendirma you knew was mercenary.
Excuse me. The Bendirma.
The Cross Drift, which was another Minton ship. You went to the High Shoal. The Siren's Tithe you never got on the first time.
Yeah, the second time though, I thought we hired them as our second.
So
we're going to go on and take them now.
So you're gonna get kicked off this boat,
and we're going to hire the Siren's
and then you're going to go to the Siren's Tithe.
And if that doesn't work out, then the Cross Drift will do anything for money. So we'll go
right.
in third. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So, I just need a.
Sleight of hand.
I just need a deception from you with advantage because everyone is lending in their help to this.
Double advantage.
Jesus Christ. Deception?
Yes.
12.
Don't you have
with
don't you have
advantage?
expertise on that?
With advantage. No, I do not.
You're a bad liar. No, 12 is better than average.
It's above 10. Right?
Yeah. It is. Yeah, let's not forget, D&D, 5th edition is meant for very much, 10 is very average. Just saying. 12 is above average. Good luck, fucker.
Okay. So you get thrown off this vessel. You walk out dejectedly. You make your way over to the Siren's Tithe in an attempted way to keep low profile and cover.
Oh, no, nobody's going to believe.
We're not supposed to make too much cover for this. We want people to see us leave the boat, but we're trying to make it look like we're...
No. Remember, you got to this boat secretly. This is only going to be viewed by people who had caught you going to different places in the chariot.
That's right.
Not the chariot, the carriage. Mm-hmm. You went off. You snuck off back. You snuck down to the pier. Mm-hmm. So this is a show for people. If Lord Crane's folk saw through that first deception, they're now seeing the second deception.
Gotcha. That's right.
Would the wisdom of our Lord see through this ruse himself?
No.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
I mean,
what?
Are you talking about Saddler?
Yes.
Can he tell that we're lying?
No. Can he see that this is not a very good. This is not a very good.
It's like the plan is bad.
Yeah.
the only thing he sees that's bad about it is you're being way too loud and boisterous about everything. You're going,
That
we're going off to see this other ship after we didn't get to
that
the...
might be good. That might, I mean, maybe we want to redo. I don't know.
Sounds like road cross.
It really isn't
Yeah,
much.
it is.
Redoing
That's me.
just keeps pointing back to...
Right.
Just stick with it.
Right.
Also, I feel like you're appropriating that low roll into your knowledge.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. It's just silly.
Oh, yeah.
That's metagaming right there.
I mean, yes, it is. That's why I'm not. But you know, within the confines of play, like, was it so bad that?
No, it was...
Okay.
The thing is, none of you are
I'm
actors.
the best at deception, so you have no way to know that I was bad at what I was doing.
None of you are actors, so you are all trying to pretend to be people
I know.
that are bad at acting and pretending to be
Look, I'm
off
not
the
trying
ship.
to be sneaky here, boys. I'm just
So-
saying, like, was it that bad that we could?
So you go and hire the Siren's Tithe, and they are hired by you, and at which point you can
We're still getting fucked.
sneak back up to Protector's Enclave, back into your rooms, and since it's late at night, you could start scheduling things for your goodbyes tomorrow.
That was a letdown roll for how much planning we put into that.
And a good preamble for the night, I gotta say.
Well, that's again, and it's only for people that
that might have seen us. I get it.
that saw through the first ruse.
I just hate rolling below. Like if something has like +10.
I hate it when you roll
11.
below, too.
What is your bonus to that? It's got to be
It
pretty
was
good.
+4. Deception's not what I'm good at. Remember,
Wow.
I'm only
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
guys call me underhanded. In the real world, I'm pretty fucking nice.
Yeah.
What were the
yeah.
what were the two things you rolled?
8 and a 4, 5.
I like to think of you as like a Inigo Montoya.
Yeah, very much like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like for us, pure of heart,
Yeah.
I look like a pretty shitty person, but the rest of the world are like, "That's your nice."
But you involve yourself with like low-handed kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Sort
His
of,
honor among thieves.
Yeah, sort of. I really
All right.
only
Like
if I have to, and I usually pay my debts, kind of thing. So it's,
So it's going to take a couple days for the Bolt of Knifer to prepare. They were already kind of
You involve with the
Ready?
people that deal with those things.
they were already pretty much ready and preparing. So it's not going to be like a week or 2 weeks for them to go or whatever. You just have a couple days to hang out, but you need to say your goodbyes to the dwarves, and once the dwarves leave, you need to lay low because you're also sending off a red herring with them.
Yes.
Um,
Actually.
So that's the last goodbye you need to do.
maybe we could leave with them in camp or on the outskirts of town and have the Bolt of Knifer pick us up or something. No, that would be a little weird.
I mean, all of that is possible, but they're going in a completely different, like, it would be days out, and the Bolt of Knifer would be like, have to sail out and dock,
And wait.
and to be sitting there being spotted. So, the dwarves are going to be the last people you say goodbye to.
I'm getting so I've taken so many notes. It's actually kind of difficult to like
What are you looking for?
the names of these dwarves.
Lockbeard and Greybender.
It wasn't Lockbeard though.
You know, it's funny.
It doesn't matter anymore. Like,
No,
it's
it's funny
Lockbeard now.
that I remember Greybender, but I couldn't remember Logbeard, which is funny because that's the name we gave him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rumble thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
What is his real name?
Erdod Rumblethane.
Yeah, Eardod Rumblethane, aka Lockbeard, or as I like to say, better known as Lockbeard.
Alright. Wow, that took forever.
What, well?
Pinning that message
Oh.
on Discord for the map took forever.
Oh.
Who did this? Serious Snacks.
Wolfmaster, you still there? I never see you on Destiny, by the way. Thought you wanted to play with me.
You're not on.
I've been on. Oh, not this week. Not
Ah.
this week. But I'm on quite often. But this week's been pretty. My son has been.
You did not see me get my purple text.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh my God, my boy, I love him to death. I've never had a more involved week with this lad. I felt more busy with him this week than I had when he had his kidney surgery. If only his mother would just.
No,
Hey,
don't
no.
say that on stream for the world to see. Come on.
The world.
Incriminating.
You mean the two people that watch this?
I'm just saying it's always there. It's always there. Someday you could become famous.
We're always on
Someone's
camera
gonna
all the
find.
time.
Someone's gonna find that.
Yeah. Jackson,
Lord
if you're
Sandrock?
watching this at some older time in your life, I love you very much, my boy. This is all just a ruse.
So you're saying goodbye to the dwarves last. Is there anyone else besides Neverember you want to say goodbye to or try to get an audience with?
Like that gnome servant?
That's gone?
No.
Well, she's still a page, isn't she? Doesn't she still have a job?
No.
She disappeared.
That's what I'm trying to think. Like, who else we really encountered that we need to go say anything to? There's the doors. There's Neverember. The other people that been around him haven't really been.
Like, did she truly disappear? Because she vanished before our eyes, but we never like.
And you never saw her again.
Hey, we never called for that. How about that one halfling page?
She is gone.
She's gone. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Never saw her again.
Yeah.
Can you remember anyone else that we met? Never went through that.
The fisherman when we fell out of the castle.
Yeah, but we've already said
I mean, we had
Harbors.
some dealings in the shipwreck, the
Beach Leviathan.
Beach Leviathan. I mean, I had some. I can go there and win a couple more bucks real quick, but I don't think we really met.
And that's fine. Just if you want to just go hang out there, say your goodbyes, just let me know.
No, I think going to a place of ill repute right before we leave would be kind of weird.
I want to say goodbye to the Thanes in the castle. But if they're not available in the court of Neverember, I would like to approach the dwarves.
I would like to let him do that and then get on the boat at our scheduled time.
I was like,
that was just dumb enough for me to be like, I thought I knew what things were. Those the bad guys in the castle. This motherfucker over here.
like unless you know someone that we should talk to, I can't think of anybody.
He's testing you. You know that, right?
If you want to make any stronger connections than you've already had, let me know.
And I guess
Obviously, I think Neverember.
Yeah, I've already said you're gonna say goodbye to Neverember.
you mentioned Neverember and the dwarves.
Mm-hmm.
He said
But-
anybody else.
If there's anybody else, let me know now. Like if you're gonna go down to the Beach
Nice.
Leviathan
I just told you,
and
the Beach Leviathan's the only place, but I'm not going to make any contacts there. Like, there's no reason for me to go down there and be like, hey, I'm leaving forever, take my money.
you just want to-
well, you don't have to say you don't have to say that you're
I get that.
leaving. You
I
could
get it,
just
but I don't
One
have any-
last look over.
There's no reason for me to go down there.
There is Mayor Sumangalt, if you remember.
well, he's gonna be in the court of Neverember.
There's General Sabine.
Also, in the court.
Protect his enclave. No. Forward magic.
All right.
That's great.
So you
Nobody.
some of the court of
Nobody.
Lord Neverember
Fuck all
to
these
say your
people.
goodbyes. Are you also giving them? I know this was discussed out of character in between games. Are you going to draft up a charter for trade for him?
Yeah.
And basically, it's hey, take this to Timanther, and you'll be seen, and we'll strike up trade.
I would like to say goodbye to the fishermen. They can do their business, but
Okay.
The cat fisherman.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
we had some quality time with
Remember
that.
his name?
I have his fucking hook.
Blue.
His bluegill. I'm gonna grab him.
No. Go back to where it says falling fight on the top left. There it is.
Falling
Falling
fight.
It'll be some.
Hef Blueski.
There you go.
Hef Blueski. I'm seeing Hef Blueski while they're conducting trade business.
Wait,
Oh,
are you
really
not?
going
Are you
off on
not going to
this?
be there when they say goodbye to Neverember?
oh, I'm gonna be there.
Well, then you have to
So
stop.
then-
So then I drag them with me.
Now you can go on your own time if you want
But
to go,
eventually we're gonna meet. Yes.
and then you're all going to say goodbye to
So
Everett.
I'm gonna say,
All right.
please, notch on my skills. How many tens of hours I have?
Okay. You go down to that dock and start asking around, and people say that Hef, haven't seen him in a moon's age.
He's been fishing around the dock.
Whoa, a moon's age?
Yeah.
Sorry.
You mean like a lunar cycle? He was just.
Why was that
We pulled in that hole
There's
with
a-
him. We sold. He sold that hole
A moon's
at that house.
age.
He
I
sold
know,
that.
I'm just
He
saying
sold that
that
fishes.
so-
I'm arguing with people, saying like,
Yeah.
no, he's like we were with him. He sold that fish's haul here, and here.
Make a.
Thinking hard check.
Intelligent.
It's like,
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. I'm not even gonna make a check. Like everyone you ask either doesn't know who you're talking about, or doesn't know or hasn't seen that person in forever.
I think that talking to that guy would have. We missed our chance to do any more with
I
him.
showed
when we
them.
walked away from his boat.
I showed him the gaff that I have. Like he gave me this. Do you not recognize this?
Can I use my sailing skills to tell him that's just a gap?
You're not there.
Oh, that's right.
This is such fine wood.
It's not a gaff. It's a ship. It's a boat hook. But
Boat hook. Okay.
I said it wrong. Gaffing hook is like the thing you hold to move stuff.
Okay.
A boat hook is the long things used to grab things and push
Oh,
away
okay.
from piers and things like
Gotcha.
that.
That's what I have.
That's what you have.
A
Yeah,
very
ship
long
hook.
pole.
It's a very long pole with a hook
Fleur de
and
lis.
a one-sided fleur de lis.
Mm-hmm.
One hook, one spear.
Truly. I'll give you inspiration for knowing that word. Alright.
Hey, you have to take it out of yours.
You don't have it. Oh, you couldn't give it to me. All right.
Did you call me Reek?
No.
And I was a Sisters of Battle player too. I know what a fleur de lis is.
You're right. I think you're the only SOB player I
I'm
know.
pretty sure that since there's an NFL team, the Saints in the U.S., who's a fleur de lis, their logo that most people know.
They don't know that's called a Fleur de Lis.
Next time you see Odeski, ask him if he knows what the Saints logo is.
Sorry, 2 gin bottles.
I
Oh wait, no.
was once
Odeski.
sponsored.
Oh, you just called him.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't think as many people know that word.
That's a
Do
good
you know what
point.
it translates to?
Flower of.
Flower of Lisa.
Was it Lisa? Is that what it is?
Flower of death. Yeah.
Flower of death? That's what I know.
'Cause-
Lisa is the French mistress of death.
Right. It's
know
what you
that?
put on graves, like the
Lily.
fleur de lis. So, anyway, no one knows who you're talking about, or if they do, they haven't seen that guy in
I take
forever.
back my inspiration.
You cannot say goodbye to Hef because he apparently hasn't been around.
Yeah, I come back and say, well, the page is gone, the fisherman's gone, everyone we know and love disappears.
Except that's fruit.
I said everyone I love.
Oh, fuck. You scary
All right.
piece of shit.
So Neverember kind of calls like a private later evening session. There's some food there. He's trying to like not blow your cover or anything like that, so that's why it seems out of normal time and out of normal audience hours. He doesn't want to like broad daylight meet with you guys since you're trying to sneak out the city low profile. But he meets you guys. He has a feast laid out. It is specifically what he has learned or what his people have learned Dragonborn eat and enjoy in Tymanther. It's hit or miss. It's like, trying to get any type of cuisine outside of where it's really from. They really gave it a... this isn't, your type of food. This, like, oh, the spices are way off or this and that. Time and tacos.
Time
Taimacos. But he really gave it a try. Like, oh, well, yeah, this is just like back home.
It looks like you have a bit of acid in your mouth. Give him a little copper slap.
I spit some acid in his mouth.
You call this death balling.
He will,
Done without that.
he
Oh,
is.
could you? Is that too far?
That was a little weird.
He talks shop with you, especially over the charter. He's very interested in that and strengthening any ties he can have with any kingdom, no matter how far away. He says he'll definitely send ships down the river to the inner sea and try to make it there. And thank you for your warnings about all the vessels that are arrayed against it to try to stop people getting that port.
How did he come to know Lord Crane?
Lord Crane arrived probably a week after you went inside with, like,
A week after we went in the city, or a week after we went in the castle?
to the castle.
Okay.
Basically just being another noble coming to Neverwinter to try to stake claims, make business, all that stuff. And his story just resonated with him being impressed by dragons and you coming to the city under such similar circumstances.
It resonated with me as well.
And he is super serial sorry that he let a dragon into his own kingdom. And, like, if he would have been able to find him, he could be sure that there would have been a fight with a dragon inside the city. They are not, like, they've repelled an undead dragon from the city's walls, and a dragon has harried the city once before his time, in his predecessor's time.
They just feel confident as a group that they can take on dragons.
No, not really, but they won't abide. Like, they won't just let him be there.
Gotcha.
Because he's powerful. They're not going to cower. They're not going to succumb to cowardice because there's this supposedly powerful entity in their city. They stand for something, and it's against evil. They're part of the Lord's alliance.
Not that we might. I don't know if we know anything that might help us, but, like, does he have any questions about, like, because he's trying to retake this castle? Does he have any questions for us about?
No, he's not trying to retake that castle.
He's trying to retake the city.
He's trying to retake the city. The castle, even in its own time, like, it is a testament to its own folly. It's too big to hold. Some of those creatures in there were there when the previous lord lived there. It's just too massive. Like, that castle was built during the Elven Empire days of the early dawn of this entire realm.
It was a pretty big fucking castle.
So he's like, no, like, if all our enemies want to hide in there and fight each other, we'll rebuild a strong city, and then they can see if they can get out of that place.
We did fall for 2 sessions.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we were in there for so long.
You're in there for so long. So, anything in particular you want to bring up with him? Otherwise, it's going to be a very strong farewell with some alliances being struck and reaffirmed.
Does he have any friends in the north?
No.
Not that we can call upon you now, but anyone. If there's anyone that you know that we could probably trust their word in the north. Yeah.
Is it Neverwinter, the Jewel of the North?
Yeah, so we're about to go to the fucking frozen anus of the north.
Right.
Yeah.
He has nothing to help you up there. And he is sorry for that.
Oh, sorry as we're about to be, but...
He says, you will always find safe haven in Protector's Enclave as long as he is Lord.
Protector's Enclave. Yeah, but sometimes it helps. No further business.
His name is Lord Neverember?
Lord what month?
We should
November.
go back and say goodbye to those 3 dudes that ran that inn that we stayed at. And Shade Rest.
The Shade Rest Inn. Just a slight detour.
Let's travel all the way back.
Just, hey guys,
Yeah, alright,
we're
fine.
farther north.
I don't think we're getting any more information in this place. So we sally forth. Sally forth.
Well, you should say goodbye to the dwarves because you need a letter from them.
Yeah.
To Iron Master.
We're still in the midst of saying goodbye. Just you're saying goodbye to Neverember was asking him questions.
So, Neverember's court closes. It's a good time all around.
Good.
And you guys schedule a farewells with the dwarves?
Absolutely.
All right. You are invited into their quarters. They host you, if that is satisfactory. They've pretty much got an entire section of Protector's Enclave that's like a dwarven district, but they also house their own. So it's kind of like, it's not opulent, it's not like being in the Lord's Manor or anything like that. It's very homey, very spacious, and very inviting, like, but also very cramped. Mm-hmm. Everything's kind of shorter.
And Lockbeard's there, right?
Yep. Eardod. And Greybender.
That's kind of a haha. I wanted to give Lockbeard a lockpick. Because when we were falling, didn't he have some trouble getting one of his locks open? He was looking through his keys.
He had to look through his keys.
So as a joke, I wanted to give him a lockpick in case next time he couldn't find one.
But he was falling.
I know.
Haha.
But
Yep. He goes, all right. He puts that away. You're greeted with mugs of ale, roasted food. The food here is definitely better than what you had at the place that was trying to target food for you. Nice dwarven stews and
like shitty tacos aren't as good as a real hamburger.
Right.
Really grainy bread.
Yeah, super tough bread, which you guys can just chomp right through.
Thanks.
Everything's fantastic. They tell stories all around. Greybender, again, a charter between Greybender and so Gauntlgrim and Tyrmanther and the Goldath clan is presented. He makes kind of pomp and circumstance about it, but it's kind of like it's in the bag type thing. He doesn't talk details like Neverember did, like the humans want to do. He just says that pretty much this charter is stone to him. Basically, of course we'll trade with our Dragonborn allies, and your coin will have as much weight as dwarven gold in our realms.
I would like to make a bit of presentation in this feast.
Okay.
Before I showed up, I removed my cloak, my magic cloak, and folded up nicely, and I would like at a certain time where it would be appropriate for me to speak up. I would like to regale a bit again, but also of like more specific detail of how, like yes, you may be bestowing upon us this honor because that we have ventured in here and taken you out of time and stuff and all that thing.
And you also got the map.
Well,
you also succeeded in your original goal.
Yes. But one thing that I seem to appreciate about our host, our dwarven host here, is a penchant of duty and loyalty, and that it moved me how, in particular, Lord not Luckbeard, Rumblethane, Eardod Rumblethane, if it were not for you, Eardod Rumblethane, I don't even want to think of the possibility that I could have failed the security of the life of my own Thane, of my own Lord Salvroth Goldath, and I wish to you to have every benefit to return to your people, to your homeland, just as we wish to one day return to our homeland as saviors to our own people, and so I wish to gift you this magical cloak of stature and significance. I cannot think of I'm sorry, I could not think of a better way to thank you for.
Is this your charisma cape?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. I don't want to gift it to Rumblefang because he saved our fucking asses. He held those demons back. You remember how hard that fight was coming down from that?
Remember how dead he was before we brought him back to life?
This is about diplomacy, my lord.
So
Pickpocket the cape off of Rumble. I was kidding.
I want to make a public gift of this magical cloak.
he comes up and very seriously thanks you and takes the cloak and clasps your hand and all this stuff and looks at it and unfolds it.
It's magical. It will fit him if he puts it on.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Try
Hang
it.
it in curtains. Maybe bedding for me ma and
Try it.
her ma. Oh wait, me ma's dead. And her ma is dead. And her ma is dead. For 500 years of life, maybe more, I owe ya. And I appreciate this blanket you're trying to give me. But it is I that owe you. So, takes it and he rolls it back up and he kind of folds it over his hand so it's a big cushion now in his hand. You think you're just gonna go up north with a letter and the will of your epic quest and light the fires of a dwarven forge that's supposed to hammer a god metal into weapon. It's gonna take more than good intentions to light them fighters. So,
Use this cape.
use this cape as Tinder. That's how much I think about it.
Is he insulting me?
No.
Hold on.
Yes.
Hold
yes.
on.
Right now. Let's just start a random fight.
Nom nom, gentlemen. Eat some good, Wolfmaster.
No, it's when we were eating the bread.
Oh, yes. Yes. Is he refusing this gift? He's going to embarrass me in front of the court of
Not
boards.
embarrassing you. He's giving it back as a gift for saying thank you for saving him.
Well, that's why you're on to hand.
Ah,
I love it. Oh, that's right. You took the cape off your Christmas note as high as mine.
right. He goes, no. You're going to need more than a letter. You're going to need more than good intentions. You're going to need more than an epic piece of stone or metal. And he reaches down into a pouch and he pulls out what appears to be a blue, teardrop shaped potion bottle. And it looks like the top of it is dipped in blue wax. But on closer inspection, it may not be a bottle. It may be a solid thing.
Oh.
And he takes it and he puts it on the cloak and says, this is a tear of the primordial Magira.
Tyrion, Magira. Primordial.
Go on.
The very primordial that makes Mount Hotenau.
I thought, because when he was exploding...
Yep, he kept
Yeah.
saying that name. The very Magira that is asleep in the forges of Gauntlgrim, that makes Mount Hotenau as hot as it is, that keeps Neverwinter never to winter. This is a tear of a primordial from the plane of fire. It has to be encased in true ice, just to keep its composition. You shatter this in that forge, and it'll light up for you. It'll melt the very gates of the gods themselves. Hopefully it'll make that metal remember what it's supposed to be. You take this cloak, and you go to the north, and you make that weapon.
I looked at... I kind of make a motion like I go back to set my hands, but I looked at Sabril. This shit. A simple god would do, thank you. Oh,
I guess
okay.
it's your next would step in and be like, it is customary if the gift is returned, it is returned. No problem.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking for someone authority.
Inspiration for trying to give a gift.
Oh, thank you.
Never agree with Sir Maxie. I was waiting for someone for authority to tell me that, but I'm like, fuck you. I know about dwarf.
So, even holding this, like you grab the cloak.
Like, it's kind of like in the cloak at this point.
Like, it's in the cloak, and you can feel warmth radiating off of it.
Oh. I hope for... I don't know what to say other than I wish for many long years between Gauntlegrim and Tiermatha to prosper and be well for each other's benefit.
Well, also understand that if the dwarves of Ironmaster go with ye, and you rekindle that forge, that the Empire of Gauntlegrim with our Ironmaster allies, well, we're reopening it. So you're doing us a favor by pioneering that.
It would be worse. If Bomb wills us to create immortals to take it.
And with this charter, it's... I'm slipping into like a Mexican accent all of a sudden. I don't know why.
If you relight a forge.
If you relate the forge, I'm like, no.
Like that.
That would have been great, dwarf. Let me just unlock
I-
this, okay? Use some magic.
If these forges... God damn it, I can't do it. If the forges are relit,
He knows my sister.
we'll...
That was for everybody.
Everybody sees.
Scottish. Back into Scottish. If the forges were lit,
Really?
and then that is we're lit.
Now it's getting Australian.
That's going all over the place.
Yeah, the forge was really lit. Can be pretty
No,
hot day.
this is bullshit.
Then that is-
Right.
Because he left, he doesn't have the cloak anymore. His charisma's going all
Yeah,
over the place.
exactly. I know. Are you sure?
You want to
If the forges were lit, then that is a boon for both our clans.
There you go. You got it.
Clasp the shoulder.
I kinda wanted to
You
be
see
Australian.
it done, my Lord Sarah's name.
I should have given Zernax a New Zealander accent. Been on a boat a while. Like the fish. The fish, they're great.
Oh, it is a machine.
Yeah. Reforging the god weapon.
Great Bender
Mighty
will
weapon you got there?
Maybe.
give you a missive. The missive is... It looks like a tube of, or a cylinder, a rod of marble. At the tops and the bottoms are almost like clay caps, and they have what seems to be Greybender's sigils tamped into them. And he hands you that. He says, "You give the lords of Ironmaster this. They'll know what to do from there. They'll take care of you."
What did he give you? No mind.
A missive? In
It is a rod of stone, of marble, cut marble,
That's great.
that seems to be capped in clay with his symbol, his sigil,
To be given to the Iron Masters.
to be given to Ironmaster. When you guys reach Ironmaster, which is a town, a city, a dwarven stronghold, that's where you're going, is Ironmaster.
Yeah.
So this is your letter of introduction. Whatever this stone rod is your letter of introduction to.
I'll try not to drop it.
Well, it's going right into that bag, I'm assuming.
It would be hard for you to drop something that you don't have.
Let's see. Are you going to take the drop of Magira as well?
Well,
sorry?
does it need to be whole?
The tier of
in his
Magira? Oh,
cloak?
it's in my cloak. I'll just put my cloak back on. Oh, shit. Oh.
Everyone does.
Hot now, hot again.
Does it need to be held like in the cloak? Like is it that?
Well,
I mean, I will try to
he
hold it.
picked it up by hand out of his pouch and put it on the cloak and handed it back. So,
I mean, I am kind of like, I'm not gonna like grab. Oh, I probably would like inspect it as he's talking about it. What?
it is.
Is it burning my hand?
It is freezing hot. It is that it's you can't tell if it's cold or hot, hot. But like the problem with it is it's just numbing. It's like immediate. Like you put it in your hand and you just can't feel your hand anymore.
The power.
You can give yourself a stranger.
How very dare you. I'll put it back in the cloak.
Do you?
Well, I put it back in the cloak, but like I'm holding the cloak in my arm. So we're in ceremonious times. I will hand it to you if you want it. Oh, stop it. Well, I'll hand it to you if you want it. I probably will hand it to you. I don't want to be trusted with this fucking shit in my backpack.
I should take it.
All right, you put it in the bag.
Yeah.
Plus, it probably sounds like it's a safe place to keep it.
But during the ceremony, let me hold it in my cloak.
Yeah, you can hold it as long as you want.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's going
I'm
in
going.
that bag.
Yes, I'm. It absolutely should go in the back.
Before
Especially-
we venture out, it's going in the bag.
Remember that besides just being a bag of holding, it is anti-scrying. So
Yes.
the more things you get that have names to them, the better it is that they go into that bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no hesitance for me. Like this is absolutely going in the bag. I'm just saying in this ceremony's time, I'm like, took it in the sack.
Pretty much the rest of the evening is very dwarven, very, very drunk, very boisterous or boastful, but not boisterous as getting over the top, but braggart, boastful, drunk dwarven nobles.
I want to absolutely press on the time that we crush Drow, and I want to show off the army. Lord Sephiroth, show them the banner. Show them the banner.
They are very impressed by that,
It's
actually.
kind of a cool thing to show them. They were kind of proud of that thing. That's one of those things where we kept it. I'm like, why are we keeping it now? I'm like, that thing's fucking cool.
I mean, trophy is cool.
This is why we're keeping it. It's a trophy.
None of them know the clan.
Thank you for rolling for that.
But Greybender orders one of his attendants to draw it down to take it.
I love it.
To take
That's
it back
wonderful.
to Gauntlgrim with him, and so they can check their records about who that clan is and log another defeat
I
against
wouldn't
them.
normally ask, but I mean, is that some inspiration for us? Like, we discovered a Drow clan unheard of by the dwarves?
By this certain group of dwarves, but I'm not giving inspiration all around for that.
Maybe for you for asking that, but I would
You're
like
the
to
one
ask.
that told me to show the.
No, you asking for inspiration is, take inspiration for that.
I would
Makes
like
sense.
to ask though, like if you learn anything about that, I would love to know more about this trophy we've collected.
Rumblethane says,
Have a good night, Wolfmaster. We'll play some Destiny sometime, huh?
"Yep, we'll do some Destiny."
Yeah. Sorry
Also,
about the internet
do you notice
connection.
is your internet connection or is our stream health? If you have any, because we got some new stuff going on, new setup, new
Yeah.
cameras. If you notice anything, let us know about the stream. But have a good evening.
Starting this Friday, I'll have some more time for gaming if you want to.
We're also trying to get another gaming stream on.
Yeah. Sunday. Oh. Well,
It's alright to say. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
yeah.
Galen's a little bitch.
I tell you, just don't tell him. Just don't tell him.
Just don't just broadcast. He's sitting there like in his underwear, smoking on his e-cigarette.
I will hand it to Galen. He always wears a shirt.
Good for Galen.
Have you heard this plan?
I heard you guys talking a little bit
They just like to be like in the stream, like no Facebook, blah, blah, blah. But they want to stream their games, but thinking about just streaming it without telling him that he's being streamed. So Wiley's trying to figure out a way to like run his camera separately, like through Skype or something, so that he doesn't.
Yeah.
We have to like. I know that Skype.
I'm
You
sure
can
it tells me this is
bring.
against the law, but in a good way.
You can bring individual camera sessions.
Can you?
Yeah, and then like put them as we have this and we have this.
That sounds like it takes
We can
a
do
lot
1,
of
2, 3,
bandwidth.
4, 5, 6. I mean, it's the same thing with being on multi-call.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The only other thing I could think of is have a Discord screen that has all three of us, and you would be like, I would be center, and like the two of you'd be left and right, and put the names under there. We'll see. I'm sure we can do it. It's being
I believe
done.
this.
Thing is, like, there's so many like Let's Play streams.
Have you
and
watched the
Play.
Let's Plays? This is weirdly like this is weirdly way higher quality than a lot of shit I see online.
Like, I'm used to like
Not the
critical.
content, but the technical side.
I'm used to Critical Role and Matt Colville's new thing. But then, looking at other people's streams, I'm like, oh, I kind of,
well,
I went overboard it.
Have you seen season 1 Critical Role? Have you seen their start? It is such like a.
I heard that there were sound issues and all that kind of stuff.
Man.
That's one thing I knew I needed was a great
Yeah.
microphone.
I mean, it's the internet. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. My TV picks up a couple of like HD channels. One of them is Geek and Sundry. And it's pretty much this all day, every day.
Yeah, it's Critical Role. It's
so I was gonna say 2 or 3 of them are very like whatever something else. It's another verse, something else verse, but it's the only thing they got going for them is a background versus us. Like they're eating Cheez-Its on the screen.
Yeah.
It's
Oh yeah.
like,
Oh,
nothing going on.
You know those? It's DnD. Those YouTube when they do their gaming channels. It's one camera here looking at 3 dudes from this angle. So there's like.
No, it's like their YouTube production.
Yeah, the GM is here, that big guy, but he's not the GM. It's him and then the other 2. Then there's another camera pointed the other way, like on the table a bit like here, and it's just catching the other 2. There's snacks, there's all this stuff. It's just like
so you're saying it's just our role playing that's keeping us down.
Yeah, that's and we're not famous movie stars or had cool YouTube videos or all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Right. We're almost there, boys.
So, leaning back, I feel like I have more room. I think this has more resolution with more room, but also much clearer, which is probably a detriment.
Have like a big icon above you because there's a lot of.
There is a lot of black space.
That's where the kitty can go.
Like the thing is that I do when I start describing things, I run out of room very fast, left to right. I'm like, oh, you're coming down a hallway, and the town is like this, and it comes through here.
Just describe it like this. You're coming down a hallway.
Yeah, I need to do more of this.
Yeah, be more vertical in
All right.
your pantomiming.
So, the rest of the evening with the dwarves goes very dwarvenly in the dwarven fashion.
I can't believe you didn't take my gift.
Nope. You saved his very life, and not even his life, his afterlife.
Insults me in return?
His afterlife.
I'm putting him on my fucking list.
You insulted him by paying him.
Yeah, trying to pay him. Like, you're trying to pay
saved him
me?
and paid him.
Pay him?
Well,
You're trying to give him a gift. He owes you more than he could ever repay. And you want to put him further in debt to you? That's not happening on his watch.
Dick move.
Very shrewd merchants, these dwarves. Put a note in that.
Yeah. So,
you put a note.
I did put a note in that. I underlined it several times.
there is no other...
Well, not that much.
No other plans for Neverwinter? You're finally bidding adieu to this?
Golly, I cannot think of anyone else I really even
You go look for Blueski one more time.
I will ask where that page is. Like, page is gone.
It's weird. Are you actually going to...
Yes,
who are you gonna
yes.
ask?
Are you kidding me? Yes, absolutely.
Are you around Ayasa or him when you ask this?
If they want.
Okay. The moment you start asking about, oh, hey, Lord Neverember, about this gnome, and like Ayasa's like, this no...
I visibly
no something
startled
versus
at the
blah, blah, blah.
sound of the awesome voice.
Yeah.
Who are you? Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, this No talking about us policy.
What was that?
It's a good policy all around.
What? You're talking about?
What are you talking
I
about?
want to see the page again.
The pages.
It's very
The
entertaining.
page in that book. I can show you many pages in books. We're sorry to bother you. And she starts like, flipping pages.
You're lucky I have a higher wisdom than intelligence. I carry on.
You carry on.
That was never their gnome page. Don't.
It just seemed like it.
Mm-hmm.
You should write.
How about you fucking keep a notebook there, would you, man? Yeah, would you like that? If I'm so dumb, how come I'm the only one with the record
You're
of all the
nuts.
events that have surpassed in this adventure, huh? How
I
about
didn't
that?
say you were
It's
so
called.
dumb, but
It's
you said it
called
like 2 or 3 times.
centralized information.
Yes.
It is a valuable resource. That's why I do it.
If you have decentralized information, then there's
you get split parties and
split
eventually you get-
databases, split
Yes,
knowledge.
yes.
You got the same
Fake
information
news comes
twice,
out. Yes,
but
this
two.
is
Like,
fake.
oh, it's terrible. It's
Fake
terrible.
news.
Terrible. All right. So the next part of this is the beginning. The beginning of the journey. You guys are going to be getting on that boat.
Let's
and
go
sailing.
on this fucking boat.
All right.
How are we getting on this boat? Are we sneaking on? Come on.
We have to sneak back on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, and I want to make a special point to you that, like, you know, I've been taking charge of a lot of this shit, but, like,
You guys
you're
are
the
going to
sea
sneak on that
master.
boat.
I'm going to be
You still have the,
a second to you.
We do, and we're going to be right back.
We're now what?
I actually had a whole bunch of other cool stuff on this too, which we'll get to. We are going to have eventually, if we ever get more donations, we're gonna have a ticker. It's like all the highest donations and their messages, all that fun stuff. But the sea journey starts next. We'll be right back.
Mitch.
I'm trying to work on this Excel file.
He's trying to pass a 4th grade math proficiency test.
Trying to do data analysis on the national proficiencies by jurisdiction based on state math proficiencies.
I used to
and
think
reading
Excel was really bad.
Oh,
Until
you
I
don't
learned-
have
until I
to.
learned about
Let's-
Microsoft Access.
Don't worry about it.
You ever work with Microsoft
We're not at the level
Access?
where we're like
Not yet.
doing that stuff. We're doing well. Just the fact that you're here is amazing. We really like having you here and talking.
Give me a few weeks notice. Hey, Wolfmaster's back. We're taking a break if you missed that.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
They're gonna start being on a boat next, and I don't know if you've watched the YouTube videos of the original stuff, but them on boats is hella fun.
Again, Wes, are you trying to stay here because is the stream dropping frames and stuff, or is it legitimately with you at home having internet issues? Because we have in the past had issues with poor stream health due to the Wi-Fi and stuff here.
That's no bueno. You show your internet who's boss.
No, it's alright. I just asked him again, like, to make sure it wasn't like
Our stream.
our streaming, because it's
Thank you very much.
not like it's never happened before.
What's never happened before?
He switched internet companies, and now it's not going well.
Oh, yeah.
The ISPs?
He did, yeah. Wes did. What do I think I need on this?
I'd like to call Master Wolf.
Master
Wolf Master, Master of all wolves.
There.
My lord, if you have a moment.
Yeah.
Don't wish to express this concern with the lesser hands, but there's something that's, well, it's faulty to call him Lord Crane, but I know no other name. But he mocked me in a way that I felt unopposed of at the moment. Say that we're just servants to yet another dragon master, and I wonder your feelings. I am still unclear of what exactly may be threatening our beloved Tim Anther that would call for this, that would call for all these great achievements we've been made. Do you sometimes worry? Do you think it's possible that you're indeed the playthings of yet another dragon in the service of this platinum entity that gives us these gifts of power?
That's what I was trying to say before we left. I wanted to buy a new bedroll before we buy.
Oh, yes.
Ask that question one more time there, Rofros.
Oh, jeezy Pete.
To say all of it, I just missed that last part when.
Alright, in a much less dramatical, beautiful sense. Do you think? Do you worry? I know that I seem to be, even though that you are the one who's charged with this. I sometimes feel that I am the one who's often charging forth with these gifts that this entity Bahamut gives us. But I look to you, take no doubt, I look to you to wisdom, my lord. Do you think there is any modicum of truth to this Lord Crane's mocking of us? Do you think that our acceptance of this deal we've made with Bahamut, do you think there's any truth that there's nothing more to it than accepting a service to yet another dragon oppressor to our people? It may be to a benefit to us now.
I don't think that at all.
You don't. You truly do not.
No.
Have you?
We are the ones that are accomplishing this quest, this mission, this whatever you may call it. And we will be the ones that go back home and save our people.
You'll be the
for
ones
our people.
engraving this on your scale.
That
To
may,
tie it back
There
in.
will be no God that does this for us. It will be us.
Platamantium fortress.
it does me good to hear these words from you, my lord. But I do wish for you to think upon on our journey to the north. Even if all of this does endeavor to save our homeland from some force that we are unknowing of, we will see where that goes. But say we are victorious. Say we do return as saviors to Timanther, to Goldath. What after then? What do we do if Bahamut says, now in return, you must do this for us, for me, Are we to rebel against this benevolent bestower of virtue? I don't expect an answer, my lord. I am just... The dragons, that's Lord Crane. Our enemies are clever. That's all. They're clever. So, I don't know. Perhaps we should think of such things.
This is a worry for another day.
As you will, my lord. We are going to go see. I wish you to know that Master Xeranax is going to be leading the helm, so to speak, even though these crude furred humans will be actually steering the ship. I will be as a second to him.
I love it. The crude furred humans. That's very good.
Crude bird.
I don't know much about sea, so I will be looking to Master Xeranax. So please, if you can imagine him being a higher station than me, I would encourage the thoughts, because I will be looking for him for guidance in the days ahead.
All right, so your party is spirited onto the Bolter's Knifer, as your red herrings all fly.
Fly, perfect.
Fly, red herrings, fly. The other ship that you are supposedly boarding has its illusioned spies pretending to be you. The procession to Gauntlgrim leaves with
us.
with you in tow, and you sneak aboard the Bolter Knifer, and it sets sail prior to dawn, and you hit the kind of rough, choppy.
He's checking the stream out on his.
We good?
Pad here, but it's good. The format is odd.
No, Wes is puts me on BattleNet.
Oh, okay. So you make way under choppy, cold morning waters out of Neverwinter. You could definitely tell when you get out of Neverwinter's Bay, which is unusually warm, and into the colder waters. It definitely seems like the waters try to fight you getting out. And you are on the wide. It is a coastal ship. It is wide.
What does happen when the warm waters of the enchanted Neverwinter region hits the cold waters the actual north are in?
Just messes
Choppy
up currents.
water.
Messes up currents.
I was gonna say usually warm cuts through, but if this is a circle, then it would be almost like a pressing back around. So
like there's some real science with
this,
right?
Here's the warm water that's just eddying.
Yeah.
So as you went through, as the cold water hit it, it would be diverted in a similar direction. It wouldn't just crash up; it would flow. So when you hit it, your boat would pull.
Yeah.
Because if this was air, this would be a fucking hurricane all around.
You would basically be fighting.
It would definitely be a wind.
There'd be two people on the wheel right now, or it'd be lashed because it'd be pulling to one direction.
I mean, not to dispel the fantasy, but like,
I'm
kind of curious. This is cool as shit.
There'd be some grabbing at the wheel. That's what would be happening.
Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back. All right, so you guys are underway. You are upon the Bolter Knifer, a barquette vessel. It is a wide prow coastal vessel, heavy beamed, like 3-mast. Not the largest ship you've ever seen, definitely larger than any you've been on yet.
The Yellowknife was 2-mast, I think.
Yep. It has a strange feel to it, but it also has a feel that you can all appreciate, being your clan lifestyle and how the Dragonborn work. They work in a kind of surprisingly similar fashion. These Vikings, they're very self-honor, their word is their bond type stuff. So let me go through what you see, what your observations are on the first days and the first 10 day, your first week out, as you get a feel for where you're at and what you're doing. You guys are staying in officer quarters, 2 to a room. So two of you, pairs of you are sharing a room.
Right.
Now you and Ayasa and you two. That's the normal. That's the normal.
It's just the way it's set up.
And you had said in last session, after with the dragon, is you're not leaving his side pretty much.
Although I will wish to say
He jumps off the boat to try to
first
distract
time
dragon.
the first time we established this, the first session we established this, I said, unless the Lord would like different company.
Right. Okay. So. Captain Ronve is very... people respect her without her having to exert authority. She is respected for deeds she has already done, and for deeds she continues to do. They don't need reinforcing. She doesn't need to yell at sailors constantly. There is already a respect. And this is very much a... If this boat is a longhouse... She is the Thane. Everyone will toast to her. No one says ill. They may have their grievances here and there, but she's earned or gained their respect at some point. So she is kind of a hands-off captain. Like, she has her people know what they're doing, and they do it. And she is just there because they have given themselves, they have pledged themselves to her. Now, this vessel is kind of odd from other vessels that you've been on because there is not compartmentalization as other vessels, especially when it comes to guards or warriors and sailors. There's not like the Marines and sailors. Right. So you have... So everyone's a sailor and everyone's a fighter. Yeah. There's some exceptions, and I'll get to that. But underneath Captain Ronve... Yes, the captain that wanted the Sluiceberry line. So underneath Ronve, she has her close circle of counselors, and if anyone ever says officers or the like, they are generally referring to 4 different people. So Captain Ronve is the captain. Next to her is Stormer Argrim Otserson.
Just how it sounds.
Stormer Argrim
that's one.
Otserson.
2 is 2.
He is Bearpelt. Stormer Argrim is Bearcloak. Okay, he's a druid.
Did you just shoot us?
Yeah.
Robert shoot somebody.
So he's a coastal druid.
Motherfucker.
I'm fine with druid. Right.
Yeah, he's a coastal druid, and he's you have to help me out here. He's not the moon. What's the other one? Circle.
Oh, the sun.
No.
He's not the moon.
Oh my god.
Calm down, guys.
Why can't I remember this?
It's Druid of the Circle, right?
It's the circle. Yeah, the circle of the moon.
Oh, circle of the
land. Land is spellcaster.
Okay, he's the circle of the land.
Moon is shape changer.
Right.
Land is.
He is not a shape changer. He is
so he's
circle
the druid of the land. Or in this case, the sea.
The coastal. There's actually one of the sea.
Yeah, there's
different than coastal. So, Stormer Argrim. And
you drunk bastards. Stop drinking so much.
Jesus.
Astrid Scuffdaughter.
Astrid Scuffdaughter.
Daughter is beauty.
Yeah. She is the navigator. But they call her a sidereal.
You bastard.
That's the worst, right?
You're just ruining the stream right now.
What?
What?
No.
It's making me take more time to do this. Navigator. She is. I'm so sorry. You said something like navigator, but people call her the what?
Sidereal.
Sidereal.
PSI.
I'm taking inspiration away from you.
IAL.
No, that makes me think of like exalted.
You get inspiration back.
All right.
That is very specific. I love that word. Love
It's
it.
a wonderful word.
Are you putting it in? You trying to find out what it is?
No, I know the Sidereal, but I don't know, like, what do they call her?
So they
Sidereal.
He said sidereal.
I just learned I mispronounced that word the whole time. I knew what it was, but I was like, it's pronounced.
Yeah. Sidereal.
Think of
Sidereal. They call her the Sidereal.
Yeah.
fate.
I'd always call it
punchers.
Sidereal.
Fate
It's
punchers.
of the stars.
Oh, no, totally.
Yeah.
It's absolutely what it is.
Yeah.
Just
It means of the stars.
A great job for a navigator.
Right. The third one is the helmsman. Helmsman Far.
Is that axe guy?
That is Scraggly Beard.
Scraggly beard.
It's 3 R's.
F-A-H-R. Far! Helmsman Far is kind of like the other... that he's normally at the helm, but he does have people that he attend to him. So those are the main 3 that are kind of like the officers. There are 2 other officers, but they're working men as well.
Astrid's the timid one, isn't she?
Astrid is the timid timid girl.
working men means hooker.
Okay. Yes, they do. They do.
They probably hook all.
So of the 2, you have Bosun Bjalfi.
Oh wait. I'm sorry. I'm lost because you said 4 under Maravne.
Oh, then there's only 3.
Wrong there.
So
There's only 3.
there's actually, I guess, a total of 5, but there's 3 that have their own jobs.
Who do these other 2 seem to answer to?
Well, you'll see.
I will. I would like to write that down.
Bosun Bjalfi. Everyone answers to Ronve.
Well, obviously.
Bosun Bjalfi.
Bosun Bjalfi.
And everybody answers his ship commander,
And Hersier Mar.
who is the battle commander.
Here's Siermar. That's one of the big battle axe.
Correct. So this is how it goes.
Big axe.
You have Ronve, and you have Astrid, and you have the Stormer, and you have the Helmsman.
Argon.
Yep.
And Helmsman
Okay.
Far.
They kind of are in this little diamond at the top that they don't have other jobs, and I'll kind of touch on that in a bit. But the bosun handles the sailors, and the Hersier handles the warriors. The only issue that you have to wrap your head around is that everyone is a sailor when you're at peace. So everyone's a sailor, even the Hersier, at peace. And they all follow the bosun's commands. Tie this line, get this up, turn the mast this way, we have to make good time, gotta avoid the storm, we gotta go towards this.
They're also a command translator, so
Yeah.
if they're like hard to starboard, he's the one that yells, "Pull the line on the mizzen." Lower this, that sort of thing. He's the one that
So
translates.
when conflict happens,
The Hersier takes over, and everyone's a soldier, including the bosun. So at peace, the bosun's in charge of everyone, including the Hersier. He's just another sailor.
I like this.
When it's at conflict, the Hersier's in charge, and everyone's underneath him, including the bosun.
So
What
in
a
case
wonderful system. That's very. So I'm used to. I mean, everything I know about sailing in history is all based off of, like
Compartmentalized and
like
officers.
English
Yeah.
sailing,
Right.
the British Empire command
Similar,
structure.
It's similar,
Yeah.
but
So if you're
that
It
one
is
thing.
similar.
If you're curious, Xerinax had attained the rank of bosun on the Yellowknife before he
Yeah.
resettled.
Xerinax was in charge of
Xerinax.
all of the sailors on his boat.
I imagine I'm learning a lot of this from you.
Oh, absolutely. As you're watching and observing these.
Yeah.
So everyone's a sailor, everyone's a warrior.
All right.
And
We skimmed this
that's
to Sabrok at some
yeah.
point, too.
it's an odd dynamic, but on top of the boat, like
Fix the nets.
the working crew, there's the people that are pulling lines and raising lowering sails, scrubbing decks, repairing the ship.
Interesting.
whatever it is. There's also guards. There are people.
Always have a druid that sees.
Yeah. There is also guards. There are guards on the top. There's someone in the crow's nest watching. There are people just walking the railings, looking out, trying to spot other ships, trying to spot other threats.
I was going to say, like, if we're at peace, what are they doing? They're probably watching out, aren't they?
They're watching out. And below decks and amongst themselves, there are no military. There's not someone walking around policing stuff.
Hey, to Jen!
Okay, hey. to Jen.
Donate more so we can see what it looks like.
Whoa, I'm in the wrong thing. Whoop. Did you actually donate?
You did.
You did. You fucking donated. Viva la France. And I was on the wrong freaking screen.
We were just talking about the photos.
We were just talking about this whole thing that we were going to do, and I was on the wrong screen.
But
I think it did. Hold on. It would have done this. I'm going to do it again. Did it come up? 2 gin bottles? Did it flash across the screen?
Take your time. We'll wait.
Well, it's 30-second delay.
There's a lot of Fortnite. It takes some time to
30 seconds? Oh.
Spelling's not as strong.
Is that so? It's 30 seconds for us to hit.
For them to hear us.
Is it 30 seconds back the other way?
No. If they type, it's instant.
Oh, okay.
So.
Just hit the repeat real quick and see what it looks like. Oh.
So. This. Oh, crap.
Have you been making him say the word bud?
So I'm going to hit it again. I'm going to hit this little repeat button.
Let's see it.
Oh.
Whoa, what the hell?
What
A little
is
kitty
that?
that says thank you.
There it is.
Oh.
2 gin bottles.
He attached a gift to it.
Gotcha.
Interesting. Weird. I'll have to look back at that.
Hey, thanks for making me
Thanks
not
for
really
doing
like
that.
gay and weird and crazy. It's just a cat bag.
At least not weird and crazy.
We have a new platform. I'm still figuring out. It's Streamlabs, but your thing doesn't show up on screen.
It did.
Okay, it did. Your thing doesn't show up on screen. Your message, but we have now an event tracker, so we can see your message to us. Viva la France.
Viva la France. We are from France.
We are from France.
You were like
No,
no exchange
it's,
for a green card.
Let's do that.
How is Yellow Jackets doing? Are they still protesting? Or is that over with?
That's still happening.
Yeah, they're not going
Wow.
anywhere.
I don't want to get into politics, but like that's still happening, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That's
God, I'm gonna do this one more
It's not
time
even
real
like
quick.
one of the longest protests in
See,
French
that's-
history. Like they have a strong history of
I mean, they had 100 years war. I imagine that was
right. At what point does it stop being a protest and start being a war? And Yellow
Can you
Jackets are not
imagine
at war.
being born and dying of old age in 100 years war.
Can't see what that first thing
It's a girl going like this.
is.
It's very appropriate because if you're drinking gin,
Our thing is disappearing. That's throwing me off. I need to fix that.
are you doing
So many
editing
widgets.
during
I
the
know,
show?
I know, right? It's terrible of me to do this.
Usually he's, if he's messaging us, I think he's usually at Thursdays.
Mm.
That means he served his Houston Dynamo.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't use that name with the express consent of the National Football League.
Oh, how was that, by the way?
How'd your Houston Dynamo service go tonight there, gin bottles?
Did you tell him Viva la France? Bet you didn't.
I bet you didn't either. You're super soft, bud. This dude's Odesky's fucking Q-tip.
Man, I'm all about this boat. I'm so excited
Was
to
that
see
too
Druid
much?
on this boat.
just like, what exactly does that mean?
Do we know what a druid is?
Yes.
We
went through this like 2 sessions.
Oh, we did. There are, in fact, druids of our clan.
They normally leave.
But they're
Okay. So, whoa, what the hell? $10. There's more money for your new camera. We got 2 new cameras. I already bought them. Thank you for contributing because that pays me back for getting them.
Who gave us $10?
Gin Bottles just did.
Yeah.
So I have a new camera, which is this new fancy, like, unfortunately the white balance is on automatic, and if I turn it off it goes all weird, but I should be coming in much clearer so you can see my ugly fucking face.
And that's what's important.
Just get a tan and quit messing up the white.
I know, right?
sensor.
And we have the camera for the
You're not gonna have
Dice
Casey McGrath.
Kitty, but it didn't turn out as well as I want to.
that's it, right?
So I might look into using my old camera for it.
Like Hawaii tans, John, I think.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
I don't know,
Brandon.
spend a little more on you.
2 gin bottles. Now that we have like 4 tips, I'm gonna put the ticker on, and you're just gonna have your shit going across the stream the entire time. All right. So sorry for that little distraction, everybody. So you have the diamond up top. You have the switch back and forth of the boson to the Hersier in combat or not. There are no guards.
But they probably have
Below.
the crew that deals with the technical things while the people in charge are.
Well,
doing
it's
the
always
production.
who's whatever. So like
You have to remember, like in the army, everyone's a soldier, even if you're a bookkeeper.
Yeah.
So everyone on the ship is a sailor. You can pull rigging if you need to. You can fix it if you need to. But your job is cleaning and keeping the cannon. His job is cooking. His job is masonry.
But in a conflict, it's also arms.
Yeah. So while we're sailing, you are, as a mason, still making sure the boat is
Okay.
put together, is held together. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Your shipwright.
So Bialfe. Bialfe?
Bialfi,
That's our
Svarferson.
He's your bosun.
But when she hits the fan, it's big axe, here's her
Yeah,
mar.
Herser Mar
Zirnax-
takes over, and Herser Mar would be like, and you haven't witnessed this yet. You're just hearing this. But Herser Mar, when he takes over, it's Ronve and him discussing strategy, and when they give commands, they say, okay, we're gonna try to cut them off. We're gonna cut this other boat off. We're gonna ram them. We're gonna try to get to starboard. Whatever they say.
Cool.
Then the bosun gives the command of what to do to make that happen.
All right.
But the Herser gives the initial command of what he wants to happen. And then the
Okay.
bosun makes it happen. In the other way, at peacetime, the bosun says, hey, the wind's cutting this way, we need to do this, it may take us further from coast, but whatever, he gives the command, and then everyone obeys that, including the Herser.
All right.
Nobody gives the
I get it.
bosun.
I get it.
These are the only people that can give the bosun any kind of command.
Yeah.
And the only time the Herser does it is when we're at battle. So what I would
Right.
say, Zirnax would tell you, only ever listen to the bosun,
Yeah.
because even if the Herser's in charge, the bosun is still.
I mean, if the Herser is in charge, I'm listening to.
No, the Herser will say what needs to be done. The bosun
Yeah,
will
yeah,
order
yeah.
command.
God.
So,
It makes
Yeah.
sense when it's crowded like this to have a single voice come
No,
across.
it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. All
and
right.
with,
Great.
with that no division of, there are guards, there are people on duty that are alert and are scouts or perceptive, the Hersers type people, the fighter type people, but they're still sailors at any given time. They have to pick up rope, they have to do whatever. But they're looking out, they're looking at from the crow's nest. Inwards and below decks, there's no guards like you'd have on a regular ship where there's the differentiation between a sailor and a marine.
All right. And there's
And-
a fights happening down there.
There are fights,
Mm.
but the fights aren't out of frustration or anger, or even if they are, they're put down pretty quickly, and the person is thrown to a bunk to sleep it
I
off.
think they're mostly for fun.
But no, they're mostly for conflict resolution.
Oh.
If 2 sailors have a problem, then they come to blows, and that solves the problem. That whatever it is, saying
I
you have
like this.
you have a problem with how I do
feel
this.
Like you would have like your own dictionary of like life on the boat.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
you-
Perfect for a role process.
Yeah,
You make a good sailor.
If 2 people have there's still drama, there's still whatever. There's
Sure,
people are
yeah.
still people,
It's a long
but-
time at sea.
but it's not like I'm just gonna kill you. It's not people
No
throwing people
longer here to
overboard.
see.
It's, do you have a problem with the way I do things? Yeah, I have a problem with the way you do things. Let's have at it then. All right. They have to go to blows. and the guy that loses goes, "All right, I'll do things your way then."
Wonderful. How did we see this happen?
I mean, sorry.
In your 10-day, like 3 times in the 10-day, you see a couple more just like fun brawls as getting underway for a trip. There's a little bit more struggle. Like people are anxious. Well, we're not there yet.
Oh, I was hoping to skip time.
Yeah.
Hey, we're there. Hey.
The other thing is there's this whole thing. Everyone works.
Yeah.
So I feel that if it depends on you. What do you do? Do you work or do you not?
I think you would make a good sailor.
You've already done this, by the way. You've already been on a sailing vessel.
In the Sea of Fallen
Stars on a Cormier vessel, and you all have told me with him you worked while you're doing it.
I set you to mending nets at first, but I think that now, like, you've got a little bit more. You can do something a little more strength-oriented, like tie and practice cannon fire with the men.
Learn ropes.
You would do good with ropes as well.
Yeah.
Obviously,
rope
the Lord would probably still be mending nets. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. No. I'd probably send you up to the foredeck for like timekeeping. Learn to use a sextant. Why not? You know.
You mean he would allow you to send him?
Why not?
Yeah.
He listens to me.
So, on the vessel, the everyone works mentality doesn't seem to apply to certain people.
Yeah, right.
Your passengers,
Oh.
you're paying for your voyage. If you don't work, everyone looks down upon you because you spun this great tale of you being heroes and
this is something
warriors.
Even without that, I imagine I don't think that we would even think to not work.
Rollcross would be bored
but
tears if he wasn't doing something.
Me too.
So the everyone works doesn't apply to Stormer Argrim. He will work, but you see that anytime he tries to work, someone quickly goes over and is like, "Oh, sorry, I was just getting to that," and takes the work from him.
Interesting.
There is definitely a reverence and even a little bit of fear of the Stormer in everyone. There's great respect, but he is a druid, he is a magic user, and these are a people of...
We kind of learned that over the course
of
this.
And
this
people...
first 10 days.
He doesn't shirk duty, he doesn't do anything like that, but he is vaunted a position because of what he does.
Yeah.
And even then, he is also calling, wind, he's changing the ocean. He is helping this voyage in other ways. Yeah, he is like calming waters if it's too stormy. It's
master of the natural elements.
He is.
Learn a little of that.
Like, he does some crazy stuff.
At some point, would be like,
Zero dice.
That's pretty cool.
The other person that doesn't work at all, and no one seems to bat an eye, is Astrid. The sidereal
The one who could throw me off the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that they wanted you to throw off the boat,
Yeah.
because as if making fun of you, that the weakest among them. But you realize that there's a lot of shit talking on this boat, especially of like who's stronger, who's weaker, who's whatever.
Yeah.
No one gives that to her. Everyone is very, very protective of her.
Well, what's her deal?
Well, I was gonna
She's
say,
a navigator.
Good question.
I was gonna say, can sailors speak that info out a little bit? That's what I want.
Oh, that's good.
Everyone is very protective, very fatherly, brotherly to her, and like she doesn't even. It's not that she doesn't want to work or she's shirking it. She has her duties. She is just not really there. She's very Ayasa-ish, kind of when it comes to things.
Oh yeah, what's the Ayasa doing?
Doing her normal stuff.
Yeah.
She does her. Astrid does her things, and everyone else is supportive and protective of her in all things.
Really? Gilded child.
In some way. Were you... So you were sailor speaking something. Were you trying to get any more information about that?
Yeah.
Or not?
I'll press it a little bit. I do kind of want to know a little bit about what the hell's going on.
We'll get to that in a second. Lastly, we'll get to in the what you learn by day-to-day life is this ship has probably about 120 people on it. 3 shifts, constantly sailing. The way it normally goes is you got your 3 shifts. You got your morning, day, night shifts. So the captain always has dinner, and she has dinner at night. Everyone kind of comes in. It's a come and go. The doors are just open. Anyone can come in when she's at dinner.
Sailors alike.
Sailors at any level, they can come in. You can have whatever. Like, there's the galleys below for the below decks, but you can go in and have what she's eating if you have something to talk to her about or say to her.
I'll skim you that's not something I'm used to.
Okay.
That's a little rare.
That
Okay.
is...
I was going to ask, why doesn't everyone do that?
Right,
then?
but that's I need to have words with the captain.
Yeah.
So I go in, but before you have words with the captain for whatever it is, you have food with her.
Sort of venerated open door policy.
Yes. So it's like you're going to sit down at the table with the captain.
Yeah.
And you better have something important to say because you don't waste her time.
Damn, I want to work on this ship.
But at all other times,
terrible.
that's where she hears grievances. She gets her officers up there, whether it's these 5 or the lower officers, the lower mid thanes. There are different levels. There are different
men and women on this ship.
Yes.
Are people fucking on this ship?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
The captain's a woman.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe she might be some sort of I don't know, Viking princess. Is an exception.
Everyone, no. It goes, and all the officers that are on shift or whatever will come in and give their reports. She normally has at least all of her little inner circle at her dinner table. She hears grievances from anyone on the ship that wants to come to that open, that's her open dinner. Anyone can come, all that stuff.
Are you attending these?
Her dinners.
Do you sit down at the dinner?
I don't know if you've been.
Do you always sit down at the dinners, or do you show up, or do you not show up at all? I mean,
I already said this is rare for me. I have no advice to give you on eating with the captain.
I've probably maybe gone to 1 or 2.
So you keep out of the way, unless you have something to talk to her about.
To more than that. Maybe
I was kind of curious,
just so that
so
you're not disrespectful.
I just kind of want to gauge what kind of presence you're trying to impose on this.
I mean, I'm not trying to. I'm trying to give off the point that I'm some sort of royalty. They should be entertaining.
No,
that's important for us for
Xeronax
and I to know what kind of
You are royalty. You should still maintain the royal presence.
He does. He's doing it.
But she also, outside of that scheduled appointment, which is pretty much at dusk every day, she will shift her sleep schedule so that she is up at variable times so that she is available or as captain for all 3 shifts.
Okay.
In a 10-day period?
Yeah, in a 10-day. So 3 days that she's on one, 3 days she's on the other, 3 days she's on the other type rotating schedule.
Sorry. Admirable.
And it may be more than that. It actually might be 5 days, 5 days, 5 days. But she makes sure that she's it's not just her during the day and her night crew doesn't see anything, blah blah blah. The Hersier and the bosun pretty much stay a very early morning shift, so they catch night shift and day shift. They're there for the dinner and then they go to sleep. The helmsman is only there during the day, and then he has his apprentices handle the other shifts. Okay. He is an old veteran, kind of crotchety, stuck in his old ways. Astrid wakes up in the afternoon. She'll attend the dinner as almost her breakfast, and then she kind of wanders the ship as it goes into night and the evening and stays up most of the night.
And how else could she do her job?
Yeah.
Her job of
Navigating by
navigating.
stars.
right. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
So,
Can't
I was
do
gonna
it.
make a joke, but like that's pretty solid. Yeah, yeah.
so
We're dropping some shit knowledge on you right now.
Ah, this has been a very educational session so far.
you start asking about Astrid, and you get different things from different people as you go up the different levels, as you get new green sailors to veterans, and talk about some of the officer level people all the way up to the inner circle. Astrid is special. Some people call her abilities magical or fantastical.
Mutant with a third eye that can
Uh,
see out.
I'm seeing more of like his touch.
One of the things is she is not Uthgardi. She is not from the north. You don't know exactly what she is or how she got there, but the
humans look like.
story is her parents came from the mainlands or the Sword Coast. Somehow they went north and impressed upon themselves to the North people as friends, but then her parents died, and the people took her in. So they give her that birth of you can do whatever you want because she's not of the blood of Uthgard. She's not a Viking. So that's why they go, okay, she's timid. She's not expected to be this warrior sailor or warrior this.
In general, in general question like this, can I focus questions a little bit? Can I let them know like, so what do they mean by special?
Okay, so you get all kinds of stuff. She talks to the stars talk to her, this and that. But the impression you get is
Sorry, expression that I get.
okay.
Sorry.
She's a magic woman.
Mighty boss.
Yes. She and it's Stormer Argrim that kind of says it the best. Is
That's
that
a grip help, dude.
yeah?
See that?
Not
He
from my
says
notes.
she reads the sky as you would a map or a water clock.
Never heard of books.
Clearly it's private.
But a map is a piece of paper with writing on it. So when she could look up at the sky and she could tell you exactly.
Burn. Look, we know so much. Let's say.
She could look up at the sky at any given time, day or night, and tell you exactly where you are
That's cool.
in the entire world of Toril.
So she's
Her book.
sex
Yeah, her book that she keeps with her isn't a book of stars or positions of the sky. It's events. And it's events based off of what the sky looked like at that time.
Does she know?
And hold on,
You're
don't.
not here for that.
Don't.
Oh, okay.
So he recalls your memory to when you first left, and you were up, and they all the crew was talking. You were just getting to know the boat, and everyone said people were talking like, "Hey, Astrid, what is it? How far are we going to get this time?" And she said, "By the time the sun is at mast, we'll be at Tower Rock." And now you're remembering back as he's telling you this. The moment the sun was straight up in the sky, you looked over and there was a rock outcropping that looked like a tower.
So that's something I gain knowledge from.
Right,
So it happened the
you
first
realize
day.
that she can look at the sky, judge time and speed, and figure out exactly where you will be
So am I able to,
or are going.
without the spell of it, can I divine? Is this magical or is this skill? Because nobody would know the wind speed and the weather and the ocean.
She is looking at wind speed and all that other stuff and judging that.
Okay.
But she will also point out, oh, this is where we had that battle, or this is where we spotted that ship. And she'll do that by going, okay.
So
I look up at the sky and I can tell exactly where we are.
This is almost parallaxical. She knows. She knows the date and the time and the position of the stars so well that she knows her position underneath it. Okay.
And she can judge. She could judge where she's, like how fast she's going, where she's going to get. Tell you, that's why she's a great navigator. Go this way, and if we can keep our speed, we'll be here, and I know exactly where we are in the world.
And I'm not able to divine through questions as to whether that's magic.
You are not able to divine if that's magical or not. There are people that have abilities
I
to do
get that. I know that might be something we ask later of her. But right now, I'm just interested to find out that that's how she navigates.
But pretty much, she is always walking around, kind of looking up, and she's constantly pulling out her little book that she has, and opening it up and drawing. Like, it's not even real notes. It's not like there's some words to it, but she's generally just drawing things.
Gotcha.
And she can tell you, like, she can be sitting there hanging off the side of the deck. You see ocean for days, and she goes, "Oh, right over there. Yeah, we found something here. We fought a Leviathan, or this is where we saw this vessel from Mintarn do this, and this is where this great battle happened." She knows all of this, and she can even, like, look through her little book as she's been up and down the Sword Coast, and all of that time, position is all in her.
And he's learning
mind.
all this from Storm.
No, she's not learning all of it. He's not learning all of it.
Some of it
Just
I
the most
understand. So, like,
detailed
as we
of
rotate
it.
and move around, our position in the solar system moves as well.
This sounds like arcane devilry.
Devilry. Come on, man.
Well, I would just explain it to you that this is how navigation has gone on for millennia. This is the way we map at night. You know, you can see in the daytime where east and west is. You know where the sun falls. Unless you're turned around, then what? Is that still east? Is that still west? Is that north? Is it south?
I know.
How do you know?
I know great many tale of people being lost at sea. Are you sure this is a reliable system?
Only by the rising and falling. Only by the rising and falling of the sun can you tell the direction.
Only the gods can give us that. No, I wouldn't say that.
You would know.
No, wait.
No, we wouldn't.
We
wouldn't. Yeah, we wouldn't. We're very godless people, aren't we?
Does the world of Dungeons and Dragons gain month and year by the moon phase, just like we do now, or no? Because lunar phase is the point behind month and week.
Yeah, so, not going too deep into it, yes, but, yeah, yes.
So I could just expound upon the fact that the stars accompany the moon and everything.
By the way, and it's a lot simpler in the Frat Realms. There's 3 10 days in a month, plus those holidays that are in between months, every other month. Everything lines up to a specific number of days.
So then their stars are even easier.
Yeah,
There's less.
theirs is actually created and not a math system that's put to.
So then it would be easy for me to kind of. Sorry, I don't have to be a dick.
Anyway,
Did you know that Virgo, the constellation Virgo,
doesn't exist in Forgotten Realms?
Is visible
I did not.
in all
It
seasons
doesn't
except
exist
for
in Forgotten
winter,
Realms.
and that's how farmers calculated calendar time.
That's what I'm talking about.
So
Yeah, it's
That's what I'm
fascinating.
talking about right now.
Yeah, it's really incredible. I know.
Yeah, stop.
I know. It's
you
really cool,
don't
though.
have the means of understanding if she's magical or not, or if what she does is magical, or if she has some magical whatever to her. But some other people amongst your group may have those means.
Okay.
Amongst that group.
Yes, amongst the group.
I do wonder if you just say you're scaring of that. I wonder. I will ask probably dumbly if she knows.
I was actually taking a moment to
He
try
did
to
skin
explain.
He did say skin
lunar shape for month.
Saloon.
I do wonder. I wonder because there's only one person that we have met who has that kind of knowledge. I wonder if she knows a person who explained a whole great deal to us that was very important to our journey here that we never saw again was Tolan the Diviner, who showed us that arcane astrolarium. You know what I mean? He showed us the star. He gave us like a conjured observatory, really.
If there was any practical way to build and maintain an astrolabe on a ship, it would have been done.
Do you remember what Tolan Do you even remember
Are you
what Tolan?
quizzing me on the
Yes,
game right
yes, in character.
now? Oh, in character.
In character.
Okay.
Do you remember what Tolan? I'm sorry, in character. I'm doing you. Do you remember? Do you remember what Tolan even set us off to find? What he was missing in his many mental pieces? It was a chalice.
He didn't send you to find that. He specifically said you're not to find that. He was going to find that.
Thank you, Yasa. I knew you were good for something, my gold dear.
We were supposed to find what we already found, which is a big hunk of metal.
But he was the only one who knew stars and shit.
Besides me, a little bit.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with your knowledge of this.
All right. So, that's
Does she do it
that's the first 10 days. That's life on the ship. Is there anything more specific about any of these people that you want to ask, know, research while you're in this?
Want to know?
Does it look like there's any formal fight practicing going on or gambling?
Yes, both. At all times.
So I'd like to skinny.
Generally, so I was saying that before. 120 crew, 3 shifts.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 crew's active.
Oh, sorry. So that's.
That's actually 2 more things.
Decks then.
Right.
There you go. That's right.
So 120 crew, 3 shifts. 1 deck is one group of 40 is active. They're rigging, they're repairing, they're sailing.
They're pulling.
1 crew is one third of the crew is in recreation. They are eating mess. They are gambling. They are cleaning sometimes, but it's personal cleaning, not the ship cleaning. And they're practicing. There is it's not required warrior regiment and a gym practice type of thing, but they are such a competitive culture that if you ain't in the gym, in the fighting practice rings,
you basic BS.
Yeah, then you're just like, you're going to be scrubbing decks for the rest of your life. Ha ha ha. Like, that's not an honorable thing.
If we're trying to build up some face on this boat and stuff like that, it might be fun for you to get in there.
Would you like some assistance with this set?
Well, I can jump around and have a good time.
I bet you could. I've seen you in battle. You're quite a nimble fucker.
I'm just saying it might be fun for you to punch some sailors. And get
would like to punch that one.
I'm saying words against us. It'd be fun for them.
3rd shift is sleeping. So.
Right. There's no fighting or gambling in 3rd shift.
Some people must be sleeping.
No. I'm not saying.
Everybody has a 1st, 2nd, and 3rd shift.
Some of there's a constant armed crew.
No. Everybody has 3 shifts. You have a working shift, a downtime, and a sleep.
Yeah.
So if you work 3rd, you downtime during 1st, and you sleep during the 2nd.
Yeah. So there's only the ship doesn't have 120 bunks. It has 40, and 40 people are sleeping, 40 people are in recreation, 40 people are working, give or take.
Well, I would love to keep our reputation up with the fighting.
Armament. Armament is on the aft castle, where the helm is in the back of the boat, the top thing. There is a micro ballista on a pintle that can shoot out the back. It shoots generally.
Swivel gun.
Yep, swivel gun. But it is a big crossbow. It's a micro ballista. Yeah. It's a heavy crossbow or a very small ballista. They generally have tar buckets with flaming arrows to try to discourage pursuers, that kind of stuff. They have a couple other types of arrows, sail lighters, some grapples, but those are very, very specific.
Uh-huh.
Foredeck, they have a small ballista on a kind of like rotating. It's 45 to 50 degree swivel on the front. It's not really a pintle because it's in the deck, but it's basically on a
sphere or
half sphere with the deck being kind of carved out with a thing, so you can slide it this way and you can slide it this way, and it'll go. But it's just that kind of forward 50 degrees on the ship. That thing has grapples, it has hull breakers, and it has tar wrapped, which is you take a speared log or a carved log, or the bolt is just a point of wood, and then you take a piece of don't do it, don't do it.
Not doing it.
Then you wrap tar piece of cloth hooked on the front around it, light it on fire. So when it shoots out, it's hooked onto this thing, but the moment it hits a vessel, splats that tar burning cloth over a whole bunch of space.
Oh.
So
Then
aft castle, small ballista or micro ballista. Foredeck, it has that light ballista.
And main deck has no swivel guns or anything like that on it.
Main deck has nothing else. There are crossbows handed to the guards during each shift.
Does it have cannon below?
There's no cannons. This is not. It's
okay.
fantasy.
Okay, no, I'm just
There's
sure.
This is in Kalimshan ships. Below decks, so mid deck, the first deck essentially, there are 4 wide ports that they can drop down. Inside that deck are 4 heavy ballista. They each have range of fire of the quarter deck. So if the vessel's here, one has from here to here, and the other one has here to here, and then the back 2 down to there. Big swivels. They've got hull breakers. They've got grapples that can penetrate a ship and drag towards them. They have mast breakers. They have the tar fires. They try to be very careful with those, but that's their main combat.
So
is these ballistas.
This is a war vessel.
It was originally a kind of raiding vessel.
Yeah.
Or I said for this, something like this, it's more of like long range. It's better to be prepared at sea than not. So bring your weapons, bring your guys.
For it.
So this is the first below deck. Is the 4? There's 2 on each side, or 4 on each side?
There's 2 on each side.
So there's 2 droppable.
Yeah, they drop down those doors, and it's a big open area.
And it's the micro ballistas again.
No, they're heavy ballistas.
Heavy ballistas. Okay.
So
That was I missed. Okay, so then I got that. So
and then there's the below decks, which are like about 6 more decks of galleys and fighting pits and this and that, like just the normal that. And then there's the cargo deck and the bilge.
the GHs makes the I a long I sound like it.
So
You were looking at
that's your vessel. That's your rotation. That's your armament. You guys come out sailing pretty strong. They understand your need for urgency. They're trying to avoid conflict and making their way north. Just trying to get to Fireshear as fast as possible. And all of that you glean on the first 10 day. And from what I gather, past the first couple days, as you get into this flow, you guys are also participating in ship culture. You're working, you're gambling, you're fighting. Well, at least some of you. You're gambling, you're fighting. Ayasa's entertaining.
We're definitely making a name for ourselves. What would Savroff be doing anyway? Like what would
I'm kind of curious myself.
like not in a mean way at all. Like what would our Lord Savroff do in the hull of his ship?
A forage ship.
I understand your want to not impress yourself or overextend hospitality to Ronve, but she does seem open and even accessible to the fact that you're the only paid passengers on the ship,
Like
and
our
you're
whole trip is
and you're the reason the ship is going that way. So she does like seek you out and talk to you about the day's goings on type stuff. If you want to participate in that, or
that would probably be besides lending a helping hand wherever Sternax has told me like, hey, do this, like blah blah. It probably would be talking to her when I have moments with her and just kind of trying to just gather like the knowledge as we go along about this type of living.
Here in your garage.
Your
Knowledge.
Because Sephiroth would just be so like, I don't, like, sure, this is the third time?
It's the second time we've been on a real boat. I mean, this second time was the cat boat.
Okay,
We've only traveled by sea once before this.
But so I'd still be trying to just understand this way of life, trying to figure out why.
Get around, baby.
Why do people do this? How?
Why do people do this?
Make me
honestly,
Make me an insight check.
So noble.
Hey, good, decent roll. Look at me go.
What'd you get?
I rolled a 14, but plus 8 would be
22. So, you definitely...
Nice. 22? Damn.
Yeah. So, she is testing the waters with you to see, like, she's definitely testing your mettle as a leader. As she'll come to you and, talk about the day's stuff, and she's judging how you speak. She's very reserved. She comes to you. She talks about, oh, this happened during the night, blah, blah, blah. Our men did this. There's a conflict down here. And she's judging your reaction, and you're seeing her judging your reaction. But then specifically, like 2 times during the 10-day, while you're there at meals, when people come up to her with conflicts, like a crewman comes up and says whatever and whatever's going on, and this guy's not doing his thing, blah, 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 she'll turn to you for advice. Like, okay, what would you do in this situation? Like, what do you think of this? What do you think of this man? And she'll, she's not trying to, catch you off guard or anything like that. She'll answer questions, about the person, other stuff, why he's there, who he is. Just trying to see what you're about. And you, with a 22, catch what she's doing, and surprisingly enough, probably not surprisingly enough, your answers or your involvement in that, or your kind of perspective, it's very similar to theirs. Like, their clan culture is kind of very proto-Dragonborn ideals. So it all fits. Like, you should think, well, this. Like, if he's not doing this, then put him over here if you can't do that. So, you, with your insight, see what she's doing, but also you don't have to, deceive her in any way, because your stance on most of the stuff is in line with what they would be doing anyway. But she seems impressed by your insights.
I'd say the only thing I would guess, though, is that I would imagine our overall leadership philosophies are a little bit different when it comes to having a firm hand versus a more, not relaxed, but just, more peaceful, sort of,
They didn't touch both of you.
Let's
Just...
just-
Yeah,
I would just guess between the way Savroth is as a person.
she doesn't, she has to make a decision. She has to exert leadership and almost dominance, where you're the,
It's like where she is more of a, she seems too laxed or too, nonchalant about things. Someone might try to take advantage of that. Maybe.
Yeah. For her, again, she's
on a ship and stuff.
She's earned. Obviously, she has to come by as that. But as I've said at the beginning, is that she's earned the respect of everyone that's on this vessel. It's not like this crew is like, oh, well, let's try to get the captain. She's fought alongside of all of these men at some point. So it's very similar to your situation, where whatever you say to like Rofrost, he's gonna do because he respects you, because he's been through the shit with you. Even the underhand who has been away from the clan, when you make a decision, they follow it, and that's very much the way it is with her as well. She does not like the Herser is the one that's gonna knock a head around. The Bosan is gonna slap a hand. Ronve doesn't have to do any of that shit.
It would be terrible if she showed up to do it.
Right.
Really.
If she if she actually had to show up to break up a fight, then the rest of the crew is ready to hang those people that were involved.
Yeah. Interesting. I like it. I like this boat.
My boat.
Still forever.
Also, you just let me know at any point you do the thing.
I was thinking maybe just because nothing.
Ayasa, you were there.
Well, no, I know.
No, he was there.
Oh, I have something that I'm supposed to plan
on his bed, or where he'll find it, or while he's sleeping.
Let's do it now.
Alright.
Actually, I think what it's going to be is more of one of those, like, while we're doing something, I'm going to put it on him so he finds it on his person. No? Alright, fine, bed.
Bed. Like, do it
I'm
while
just
he's
like,
like, do it while he's asleep.
Yeah, alright.
Put it on him.
While he's asleep. This is sleight of hand?
Yes, I don't have him through Mage Hand.
Do you have inspiration?
No, I got a 26.
Yeah, and you only got a 26.
Okay.
Alright. And you're doing it, like, at the end of the first 10 day? Like...
It's probably perfect timing, actually, right? We've all kind of got our spots there, things. He's got his bunk. That would be the best time to figure out when that's going on.
Right.
It's funny, I was actually thinking about saving it for next session, but that's
What was the
perfect.
thing again? Because I remember Ayasa coming to you and...
It's
It's an organ thing that I think is a note, but I never opened it. I don't know what
It's an origami dragon. But there's writing on it. There's a note. It's from Ayasa. So, hey everyone. Ayasa's pulling a trick with the help of Xernex on Rofrus. So, she had given Xernex a origami piece of paper folded up to look like a dragon to put in a place where Rofrus will find it. And it's to kind of get him back for swallowing the scale, for just being Rofrus.
For doing anything.
Alright. So that's having the end of the 10 day. But no, like both of yours, your handling style is actually pretty similar. She comes in, she hears things, she makes her decision, and the people live by her decision. Because of the amount of respect she has, because of her lineage, because of her own deeds, she has both. She has the fact that she is the daughter of Boltif, who was a great hero and sailor and raider or whatever, and because herself has gone out and made a name for herself, and then she inherited her father's boat, and these people came with her. And when she goes back up north, they replenish their crew entirely. However many people they lose, there are that many people wanting to be on the vessel with her and fight by the legendary Boltif's daughter.
Can we play another game?
Are we still talking about
problems
the
and
boat?
problems circumstance came with? Nothing. I'm trying to think. I thought we played another game where the same thing kind of happened, where one of us inherited the problems of our family.
It was probably you when you played with your brother and the.
No. Oh, that is exactly what it was. I had worked on whatever Mark's captain's name was. I worked on his ship. So when the dad died, I was kind of indentured to the boat. That's right.
Wasn't that our
Firefly?
It was our Firefly.
Alright.
I was the captain, not Mark.
Oh, so I was indentured to you. So
Yeah.
that.
There
Mark
was the
son,
risk
that's right.
game where your mother went over the rainbow, went over the.
Well, that was
ridge.
more. That's what brought us together. That wasn't us inheriting the problems of like for me, like in the Firefly game, my character was just the muscle. So
Yeah.
like.
For him.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't initially for him. It was for his dad, and then when he took the ship over, I was like, hey, this
All right.
fucking guy.
So your insight check has successfully endeared you to her. You find that yours and her style of leadership is very similar. Though she does and the only time there's disagreements, it's not on an ethical level, but a cultural level of how you should deal with a problem. You would do something different than her because with Dragonborn, you would do something different than with Uthgardi.
Like they hit each other and we swallow each other's skills.
That kind of stuff.
Well, it's a
I'm
new
just kidding.
thing.
We gotta let
that
it
I'm
go.
hearing
We gotta let it
about.
go.
We
It's
had a really
I
good
know,
we
I
had
know,
a
we
really
did,
good
we did.
moment with the
We did, I know.
resolution of that.
It was like a joke I'm just used to using. We actually did resolve
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I should
yeah,
not
yeah.
say that anymore.
So
It was it almost actually hurt.
No, it was wrong. That's why I turned immediately. I was
You-
going to say it.
you've been your
You're
first
doing
10 day. You're getting into your next 10 day out at sea. You've been working alongside these people. You've been training, fighting during your recreation times. You've been gambling and gossiping.
How do I fare?
Very well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We're still fairly bigger than a human.
These guys are big, but you are.
We're wide.
You're
and heavy and
just
stuff,
like
yeah.
yeah. You're just on a kind of a different level. But your strength is 18 at least.
Let me tell you, my strength is of Adonis
17,
My
18.
new favorite thing is like thinking of Rofrost just punching Vikings. Who's
18.
next?
It is 18.
No.
It's just
Who's
like
next?
I don't like. It feels weird to say just 18, but like 18 is like world class strength.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, you're on level.
Yeah.
And you are a paladin, a fighter. These people have been sailors, so they're
Been
working
burned to death by
strong.
Drake like 3 times.
Right.
There's nothing here to challenge you.
And actually, when it comes to fighting,
Do I remain undaunted?
they're wrestling. They're
Take my stupid inspiration.
Yay!
they're boxing type stuff and things
Before
like
you
that.
give me inspiration, I'll give my inspiration to you.
Or you
Do
can.
you have inspiration?
I'll bank it.
Or you can bank it.
into my personal project.
There you go. Take the first bank on me for calling yourself
Alright.
undaunted.
You're the
you motherfucker.
second.
It's like the perfect use of that stupid title.
The what title?
That title.
Yeah.
That useful
So-
title.
They are dirtier fighters.
Ooh,
If you're talking about hand to hand, like you just stripped to the waist,
Yeah.
fighting 1 or 2 or 3
I would
folks
fight
in a
them naked.
melee, that's a different story. You kind of you get roughed up, you hold your own, you have a good constitution, all that. But when it shows when it comes to tactical fighting, you definitely have something to show them.
Wileyverse
even-
has only so much of attention span. I imagine we kind of run a gamut of
Right.
these different styles.
especially when the Herseer.
Though,
Yeah.
you would learn something about some underhanded fighting. I think.
You definitely can learn stuff about underhand fighting from these.
I would like to, because most
But
of our enemies happen to
when-
be even more unhanded than you.
Maybe
when
while
he
I dream,
runs
like, shout some
drills-
stuff out, punch them in the balls.
Yeah, when he runs drills, which is mainly competitions on deck, you blow them out of the water for tactical spatial fighting, moving from one side to the other, holding an area, king of the hill, king of the aft castle.
Yeah.
You kick their fucking asses at that.
But not so much in
Like Fight Club. You're not,
Yeah.
Fight Club, right?
They definitely are.
they
have
show more skill there.
advantage than in
They
there.
gain more ground.
Well, they spit and step on your instep and things
Yeah.
like that. Things you wouldn't think of as a normal fighting stance.
Right.
Holds
So-
you by the tail.
Yeah.
My
Those fucking-
what?
Yeah, right.
How very dare
That'd be the
you?
one where we all stand up like Wayne. You better move. You better tie your shoelaces, you Viking son bitch. You'll grab no tails or anything.
Irrelevant as of 10 minutes ago, but you might want to make sure your bootlaces are tight. Okay.
Cool. All right.
So,
That's what they learn about us. Don't grab us by the tail.
got a dragonborn by the tail. So on the 12th day, and just to get this out of the way, is there? I told you the hierarchy. I told you the people. Is there anyone more specific you want to investigate, have questions about, or do anything about?
Well,
Specifically, you had mentioned the sidereal, and you'd mentioned wanting to know if what she does is magical.
Yeah,
I'm into the Sidereal as well.
I figure.
Do you have detect magic?
I don't think so.
Do you have detect
evil.
magic?
Yeah, I have.
I'm assuming you detect evil like once every 3 days.
Yeah, it's something I just do.
You haven't found any yet.
You do? So then I would probably ask you, like, hey, I'd explain it like this is a navigation style I have not seen before. This would be something I could learn should it not be ethereal or magical.
Do you want to cast it?
You get a long rest every fucking night, so.
Yeah. Not sure that it really
Fifth
means
level.
too much that how it works, but
No, like you get it back every day. You can cast it multiple times. It's zones, and you can get a feel for what you're dealing with on the ship.
I'm gonna say I have to be 30 feet within
And
this
then-
person.
Yeah,
can
you
just walk
detect
around.
it.
She could be up above
Okay,
you.
detecting magic. You find that she herself is not magical. She never casts magic in the time that you are detecting magic. But there is a multitude of magical items on this boat.
What?
All kinds of things. First off, the Sidereal wears glasses. So she has these big
She was
silver-rimmed glass spectacles that are
Clear.
magical.
What?
I'm queer. It's
Wait,
odd.
we've seen glasses.
Have we?
We have to have. Didn't in our
Have we?
last game? Didn't the librarian Dragonborn? Didn't he wear glasses? Am I wrong about that? The little,
Yes.
it was like kind of an orangish Dragonborn with a cloak. I
wow.
thought he had glasses.
Wow.
They're called spectacles in this.
I was gonna say he was bespectacled. Is what I was gonna say.
Uh-huh. So she wears
I'll have to rewatch
glasses.
that. I might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure he was.
I think
Sorry.
that might have been the last campaign where we
Right.
all died in.
Right.
The
It was.
Dragonborn.
Mhm.
The Dragonborn from the library.
That was the only.
Yeah.
He's the one that was
Wow,
excited.
guys, you want to find the crypt of
He was
Belsaru?
he was excited to adventure with us, and then we got him in a lot of trouble, like right away, and then we died.
And then we all died.
So she has spectacles that are magic. She has a cloak that is magic. She has a ring that is magic. The Hersier's axe is magic. His armor is magic. His leather furs armor. And
He's
his...
wearing a magical bear pelt.
No, not the...
Oh,
No, but the
that's
bear
dope.
pelt. The bear pelt is
I
magical.
want
What
that.
it is?
Yes,
That's so cool.
The bear pelt is magical,
Oh,
but
the fighter
the
pelt.
Hersier's armor is magical.
Awesome metal band.
His axe is magical. His gloves are magical. The captain is... She has magical boots. She has magical bracers. She has magical girdle on. She has
Magical
a magical
underwear.
brooch. She has a magical weapon.
How the what?
Yeah,
There's a lot
there.
of magic going on here.
So like all of the command staff have magic items on them. Every single one.
Right.
Boots, gloves, rings, all kinds of stuff. And then throughout the crew, weapon here, a ring there, something here, something there,
Really?
potions.
Even the
Like
sluts,
just the sleps. Like
Yeah.
these people, they
get around.
get their they do their fights, they
Yeah.
do their
I was
raids.
gonna say we would look
These
the
aren't-
same way.
They aren't pirates, but they are Vikings. Like they fight, they do their things. So there's a bunch of magic on this boat. It is definitely concentrated on the diamond hierarchy and the officers underneath.
That's crazy. This is the first time I thought about that. Like that's how we would look.
Oh yeah,
Like I have like
Look
my,
at you
my boot-
guys.
My boots,
Yeah.
my gloves, my bow, my
Yeah.
bandit. That's crazy. You're everything you're fucking wearing. And holding.
Glowing.
so. But she herself, you never see her cast a magical effect. She never has a magical effect on her from a spell. Glowing.
Samara looks around. It's like magic, magic, magic. Looks over you and you're like rainbow aura of awesome.
Anything else?
No, I wanted to. I had one before you said that. Well, the Sidereal was the
Sidereal?
Sidereal was the one that I was. Yeah, I told you. I fucking. I don't know why I just announced that so bad. I knew exactly what it was. Stellar.
I always pronounce it Sidereal.
Sidereal.
That's what I was saying. Sidereal.
Yeah.
That's what I always thought it was. Like.
When it came out, and I don't even know if I might be pronouncing things incorrectly.
Incorrectly?
But pronouncing things.
That might be
Have you not seen that Vine?
It's a
Pronouncing things incorrectly.
Here's the thing.
Whatever.
With words like that, words sidereal, sidereal.
I remember
Sidereal.
looking it
Who
up.
the fuck knows what the correct
Yeah.
pronunciation
Now, I
is?
remember looking it up
I knew
because
the definition, but not the pronunciation.
when I got the
could've
Exalted
written it
book,
down.
I had no idea what that even said.
Yeah.
So I looked it up.
Sidereal.
Sidereal
Yeah.
is
My other
what I
side-
looked up.
Yeah.
So,
But
anything else?
Yeah, so I was trying to
what's
say
that based on?
besides what we were talking about there, and is that I think that Xernax would do his best to at least, I'm gonna say this out loud, at least to, I don't want to say express discontent, but kind of desires the bosun role still, even though it's not his ship. So he would probably spend some time getting to know and familiarizing himself with the bosun and letting the crew see that he knows what he's talking about. That sort of thing.
What's your highest charisma-based thing? Is it persuasion? It's not deception, I know.
Is dexterity based on charisma?
No. Persuasion?
How do you tell which one of these is affected by what?
Just look at the value.
It
Just
says
look at the top
CHA
bonus.
in front of it.
Oh, it does say CHA in front of it. My bad. Sorry, I'm not very good.
Yeah.
Persuasion would be what it was.
Okay, so roll your persuasion.
It's like, what?
I clearly don't read this.
Where's your
I'm here to role
caveat?
play.
Yeah,
I'm not
you're
here for
here
the
to-
numbers.
That's what I appreciate about you.
That's what you appreciate. God, natural
What?
fucking
Wonderful.
one. Are you kidding me?
We have inspiration.
No, I don't. I gave it to you.
You couldn't have given it to me because I already had it. Oh no, you did.
You did.
You
And you
banked
banked
it. That's alright. I can be a regular sailor
Yep.
for this fucking voyage.
You
I say all the wrong things
So-
at all the wrong times.
you try to be like, oh, I miss being a bosun. He goes, oh, you miss being a bosun? Well, you know where we all started, right? Go scrub that deck.
God
Go
damn it.
go throughout the go pump the bilge. Like he
If I
literally
saw
like
come across you after a fight, and I'm
Yeah.
like half dressed, like oh, I almost sweated away.
I'm
So
angrily
what-
pumping. You're like, fuck you.
What are you doing here?
Bilge.
Are you-
bilge.
You're beating
So
me.
he's pretty much got you like you went a little bit too into the paint
Yeah,
with
I get it.
I want to be a bosun.
Yeah, I get
and
it.
he's got you doing like you're like fuck he got me like
Can I help
Yeah.
him by taking?
No,
by taking
no, I won't let you help. Give me the get out of here.
no you
Get out
don't
of here.
help.
That'll just make it worse.
Right. Like, oh, you needed help pumping that bilge.
Don't you dare come. I'll be like, get out of here.
I guess I'll go into another fight.
Alright. On the 13th day of your voyage, you've made some good time, so they say. So they show you on the maps. The Sidereal assures you that this is probably the best winter run that she's seen, trying to beat winter to Fire Shear. On the 13th day, you're sleeping in your room. What shift are you trying to match?
Me.
Yes. Are you trying to just do a normal, I work during the day, have my recreation in the afternoon, and then sleep at night? Or are you taking a different
Unless,
shift?
so here's my plan. Unless Xernax has a better idea for me, I will try to match whatever this guy's schedule is.
So what, so on the
And I
shifts
know
of
that
the
doesn't
shift,
really answer your question, but
so the normal shift, like of a worker, would be work during the day, rest, recreation in the afternoon, sleep at night. But, then there's second shift, which is work the afternoon, recreation at night, sleep during the day. And then there's the last shift, which is last shift. Right. So, well, everyone talked about it. Like, why is that steel mill in Terminator 3 still working at night?
And everyone said
Like,
third shift to me.
it's
and I
third
was like,
shift.
oh, it was me that asked that too.
Right.
Like, why is this
Eric,
thing
no,
open like third
before
shift?
you asked it, Eric asked it.
Oh, did he really?
And I'm
Oh,
like,
okay.
it's third shift. Like, you don't cool down. You don't let
Yeah.
molten metal cool down. You just run that shit all day. 3 shifts work it. Because, like, you're not going to let it cool down in the fucking pot and have to melt it again
No,
in the
I get it. I
day.
got it. And as soon as you said it, I was
Like-
like, oh, fuck, man. I've just been
Right.
reading all this shit about boats and stuff. And
So, what kind of schedule do you try to adhere to? Ronve is all over the place. Every 4 or 5 days she shifts. But she's always awake for her dinner at dusk. And it's okay to say that you just do a normal shift.
This was kind of what I was asking earlier. What would you be doing your downtime?
Her dinner though would take place in that. So out of the three, like
So if you're
morning, afternoon, night, her dinner takes place at what time?
at dusk at night.
It takes place in between the end
So
of
then
second shift and the beginning of third.
So like for the third shifters, it's breakfast to them.
For first shifters, they're going to bed. This is their into their night.
For second
dessert
shifters, it's their lunch. For normal shifters, day shifters, it's their dinner.
I would probably rock a second shift, I guess, then type of thing.
Makes sense. Sleep through the deep. Yeah. Get up at 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So you're kind of rocking the sidereal shift.
Because it wouldn't be that surprising to me if whatever the hours are, like towards the end of a quote unquote shift, like I kind of like just piss off and go.
Yeah,
do whatever.
Because you can do
I
whatever you
wanna
want.
do.
You can
'Cause
sleep in any order
No
you
one's
want.
making me necessarily
Right.
do anything.
Okay, so you sleep well into the morning day, get up, do your work, attend her thing when you want to, and then the rest of your time you have to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep late if you want, go to sleep early and wake up early if you want. So yeah, he's kind of on this real slide scale, except for it's pretty much midday. He's straddling that second shift.
He goes to bed late. He gets up late.
All right.
Sleep at 2, up at 7. Sorry, sleep at 2, up at 10.
What is so he's when does he sleep?
He sleeps at night, but it's late night, and it's not exactly on a shift.
I wanted to try to press or my recreation time would be when he's sleeping, just so I'm up and I can respond.
Okay.
And
So
my working days are pretty much when.
So you're doing regular shift. No, wait. You want to be up when he's sleeping.
Yeah.
So you're working second shift. Your recreation, your own time is
third shift.
late night.
Yes. Yeah.
You sleep first shift.
You sleep during the morning after he just gets
Which
up.
I feel is probably good for the fighting thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I made a couple bucks off you.
Yeah.
you are laying in your bunk. Your cabin is the nicer of the two.
This is the
Officer,
13th day.
This is the 13th day.
Well, how
Nicer
lucky.
of the two cabins. You and Ayasa have a up and down. You have a side by side.
Just before we move on, how big is this sleep schedule thing going to matter going forward?
Not really.
Okay.
Just I want to know when he's waking up at this point.
Because he said you wanted your recreation time to be when I was asleep.
Correct.
That means perfect. As you wake up, he goes to bed, and then he wakes up when half of your day is over.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why we're all missing what a third shift is. So here we go.
Yeah. No. It's whatever it is. It doesn't matter.
Or I'll explain it better later.
Yeah.
I like. Yeah. That's a good graph. Good graph.
Just keep.
So this is first shift when you wake up. This is second shift, middle of the day.
But he's straddling shifts.
Perfect.
Yeah.
If you connected these, they'd go together. So if you wake in the early morning, you work right here, you recreate here, and you sleep there. If you wake here, you recreate at night, and you sleep through the day.
But he is awake.
If you wake
He's
here,
recreating.
you recreate early morning and sleep through the day.
He's recreating when he's asleep.
That's a bad description of that part, but
Yeah.
the graphic is proper.
He's recreating when he's asleep.
Mm-hmm.
He's asleep during the
So
most
when
part
he's
of the
done
day.
fighting, and I'm done gambling on him.
No. He just said he's doing his recreation time when he's asleep so he can watch over him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
some of your fighting time is.
Yeah. I participate.
You're
but
just
I'm like,
awake. You're just awake
Yeah.
while he's
So if
asleep.
something happens
Yeah.
on the boat,
I'm relaxed, but
Even if you're
but
fighting, yeah.
available.
right?
I like the idea of you fighting every night. That's,
But
Right.
you
Do
go
something
to sleep
for me.
after he wakes up.
After he wakes up, yes, because when he wakes up, it's usually in the daytime, like a normal day cycle. There's plenty of people awake.
So you
People
go to
wake
sleep.
me up. That's when I take my rest.
So at dusk, you wake up. That's when you finish your sleep.
Or
yes. That's what you were getting at.
Yes. Yeah. All right.
So at dusk, you're sitting in your room. Well, you're asleep in your room. You have a dual cabin. So you know, one half. There's a bunk on each side or a bed on each side, chests and desks and all that stuff. You have a pretty nice cabin. Yeah. You have a portal and everything.
And for the record, we're at sea. I'm dressed light. I'm not.
Oh yeah, I would assume you're not walking around in your plate, mail, and chain.
All that stuff I can't swim in.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're sleeping, so you're obviously just stretched down to your night clothes.
Yeah.
Whatever those may be, and you're like.
Also,
and you
starts
gotta,
to masturbate. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
You like look down, and there's something on your chest.
I squish it. What did I squish? I look at
It's paper. It's not wet.
Oh, look at you're sweaty. you're just sweaty.
The rest of the sea, I imagine it's humid as shit.
It looks like it.
Sweat.
No,
Like we're scaled.
I look at it.
It looked like it was. It looked like it was in a shape, like it was folded in a shape.
Oh, like fine origami that is ruined.
Yep.
I try to make sense of it.
Well, make me a investigation check.
Investigation. Oh my glorious intelligence skill.
He looks pretty investigatory.
14.
It's kind of in the shape of a dragon.
I sit up alert at that. I unfold it, see if there's any writing.
So, it's a piece of parchment that's been folded up to look like a dragon. When you unfold it, it has the black silhouette of a boat. And then engulfing that boat is flame.
I grab my chain and I start scurrying that on as I rush over to find. I need to go Savra.
Make me a perception check as you're panicking and throwing on chainmail.
Damn, that's pretty perspective.
That I have a better roll of. That is going to be a 17.
Okay. You hear your door is shut. I'm assuming you keep your door shut or do you keep your door open when Savra's not in there. But
I'll
hold on.
behind me.
That's not what I asked.
Oh.
Do you sleep with your door open or closed?
I'll sleep with it closed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So through the door, muffled across down the way, you hear Ayasa's dulcimer plucking away. Sounds like she's kind of tuning it, and you kind of hear her voice mumbling over top of it, like she's tuning and singing her thing.
Okay.
And you're like,
yeah. Kind of like underarm or breastplate, and I hear that, and it gives me hesitance at the door, but it sounds calm. But no, this is important. I shut that open, assuming it's a sliding door. I think for some reason.
You slide the door open,
Yeah.
despite the fact that it opens this way.
I just
you dig your fingers into it, and you dig your fingers into it,
yeah.
and it flies open because that's the path of least resistance.
And I say, I look out at my immediate surroundings. Just immediate perceptions. Do things seem normal, or people?
Things seem normal. I mean, down the hallway now, louder.
What do I know Savra to be at this time of day?
It's afternoon. He's probably at the dinner with Ravine, Ronve. Ravine.
I'm going to go that way.
I was like, we've been.
I go that way, and all I want to know is on that way, do I see Hirsamar on the way to Ravine's the dinner?
But you see the open door to Yasa's room, where she's sitting there plucking at her dulcimer.
I see.
Hi, Rofros.
She calls out to me. I was like, I try to I tried to do this thing and I realized she's not messaging me. She's like actually saying this to me. And I'm like,
She doesn't message you.
yeah, I know. I'm just saying it took me in my.
He messages.
Wait, what?
She never messages.
Who messaged me?
Me, I can massage.
No. You just say.
Oh,
You're saying that she's not messaging me. She never messages.
No. I know. You misunderstood
Yeah.
me. What I said was I'm so used to being messaged that when she said that, I thought like that I was being messaged.
Used to being messaged by who?
Just anybody. I'm
No.
an idiot.
He never messages you. He always messages him.
Yeah.
You've
All right.
never been.
All right.
You've never been messaged in your
I'm so
life.
sorry. This is a faulty role play.
Right.
Mm.
Goodbye. She says,
Goodbye.
"Hi, Rofrost. What's going on?" As
Right.
you're like,
I'm like going, and I stop. I'm not gonna stop to talk to her. I just hold out my breastplate. I look to her, and I just and I move on.
something wrong?
Yes.
Well, what is it?
I
You're like still walking.
Yeah, I say like
You're getting out of earshot from her.
I get. You know what I do? I give a little crackle of lightning into the sky.
Well,
Into
come
the
back here.
boat?
And that's what you hear as you drift out.
God. Oh, I will stop and go back. Did you leave me this note?
What note?
Just I throw it at her.
It's like, like, she pulls it up to her hand. Did I leave this?
It was on
Where?
my chest when I woke.
Huh.
It was folded in the shape of a dragon.
How peculiar.
Don't mock me, woman. This is obviously an address of attack upon the ship.
Well, obviously. Lord Crane said he was petitioning boats. Do you think Ronvay is one of those boats?
Well, now I do.
Oh, who would petition their own boat to be burned? This is silly.
What do you... Listen, I don't know what games... I understand where you're going with this, but I don't know what...
What are you trying to find out from my answer right now?
No.
I'm not trying to find out shit from the
I'm
answer.
serious, right?
Yeah. This is fine.
This is fine.
No, this is fine.
Are you suggesting that this was one that was targeted to receive this signal to be burned, and I happen to be the one to receive this message?
Wait, when did he say he was going to burn a boat?
I don't know. It just... God. Please, do I remember anything about this?
About what?
Anything that might pertain to a signal for this to happen?
He said that he had already purchased or I can't remember that, chartered 2 boats
Yes.
to take you north. Good
I
luck
remember
finding
that.
the ones that are not them. That's what he said.
So why would I receive this?
Well, he's obviously trying to get a rise out of you, if that's who this is from.
Then he knows, then obviously our ruse failed.
Oh, obviously. Who are you going to tell?
Our Lord, of course. Our Lord, of course, I say. Of course. Who else?
The Lord is the Lord, of course.
Of course. Unless that
And no
Lord
one
is
can
a
talk- and no one
Sabroth, of course.
And no one can talk to a Lord, of course, unless, of course, that Lord is the famous Goldmesser.
You know, discipline. Of course I would send this to the Lord.
Well, certainly.
Very good.
She stands up.
What are you doing here, anyway?
What am I
In
doing
her
in my
room?
room?
Yes.
Tuning my dulcimer.
What are you doing here?
I'm
This is where I
very
sleep.
like
I live here.
obviously I know I'm like being awkward and dumb here, but I'm like kind of like, shouldn't you be doing something more dutiful to the cause?
Wait, what were you doing that was dutiful to the cause?
Taking my required rest for the. Oh, is that what you're doing? Doesn't seem like it.
Go back to sleep! I command you! And I leave.
Hey, you should probably tell Xerinax first.
Wait! Where's Xerinax?
Probably gambling.
Come on, Dex.
You're not rolling those dice, and you know it.
Double.
Did you roll the? You finally roll the demon dice with the
I
double
rolled these dice a
5?
couple times, haven't I?
Not that I know of.
Okay. I'm always saving them for later.
So what are you doing now?
Looking for
That was
Xerinax
Okay.
down below.
So you go below decks. It doesn't take you long to find Xerinax in one of the holds, the cargo holds, in a little gambling circle. So you actually hear pretty heavy stomps coming toward you. It's not quiet. They are armored. You see Rofros, fully armored, coming up to you.
They know
That what?
this. They know where we are.
Where did you get these cards?
This is the map. It's the
It's a
drawing.
pic-
Oh,
the-
that's the drawing.
Yeah. Probably now in pieces. But
It appears to have been shaped into a dragon at one point. Why did you fold this?
I didn't. It was on my chest, folded neatly when I woke from my rest. Who gave this to me?
This is a boat on fire.
This boat, I
That's what it is,
suppose.
right? It's a boat on fire. Does it look like this boat?
No. This looks like a silhouette of a boat.
This is not our boat.
Whose? It is a boat. It was on my chest. Obviously, this is a power play, a show boat, if you will.
How do we know that it is not a fireball being cast upward?
Who the fuck put it on my chest? Somebody knows. They know. Who else would know?
You know, if it was paper and small, perhaps you rolled around in your bed and it showed up on your chest.
You are useless. I am awakening the Lord.
He's already awake.
Our Lord Sephiroth is already awake.
He's about to be way more awake after I'm.
Find him with the captain having dinner. Ota!
Inway, are you not taking this serious? There might be an assassin among us.
Oh, the assassin is killing the boat. It's not our boat. And they gave it to you?
Do you think there's a message? I'll switch to Tyrmanther. Oh, I'm sorry, Draconic. I'll switch to. I like saying Tyrmanther better though.
Tyrmanthes.
Tyrmanthes. Wait, hold on. Are you suggesting that this is could this be a message that our allies have found one of the faulty ships and have taken it down?
I say in common, it is rude to speak another language in front of others. And I know not what this means.
I say in Tyrmanthes, I don't give a shit what's rude. What is
Tyrmanthes?
known?
No, Tyrmanthes is right.
Sure, it's Draconic. It's it's still
our
Draconic.
dialect. Yeah.
That dialect, yeah. I don't give a shit what's rude. I say, and I hit the table, and I apologize to everyone on the table. I don't give a shit what's rude.
In Draconic or in
Common.
Common?
Common, also common.
Like-
Sorry. I don't give a shit what's rude in Tyrmanthes.
Is he dealing in, or is he just going to disrupt this game?
Cash me out.
A bunch of moaning. Oh, yeah. You got to give us a chance to get that back.
You still owe me from that black eye.
If this is indeed as important as you say, perhaps we should speak with Sephiroth about it.
Oh, should we? Should we bring military intel to the attention
You're
of
in
our
the dining
command?
chambers
Why
with
bring it to me
Ronve
first?
and them.
Because
We
you
call
There's
it-
are.
nothing of a boat that I know. This is not the boat. we
Just
are on.
Astrid,
I don't know who this
the
is. where it
helmsman
or
is
where it
getting
came
off
from,
shift.
How long it has been in your bed.
The druid is not there. The Herseer is there.
This
but he's
voyage
kind of
was your idea.
in
You
the
are the one
corner,
who knows of
talking
these
with some
things.
other
I came to you
guards
because
of Broadway.
perhaps You might know
And Ayasa
something for
walks
us to
in
better
and sits
give a
down
more
next to you.
intelligent report
Grabs some
to
food.
our commander.
And I give you
She's like,
the answer now. I
I
am not
apologize.
nervous from this.
Good luck.
Why not?
Have fun.
It's a piece of paper with a boat on it.
Folded
I
in
do know.
particular in the
You
shape
don't.
of the dragon to
She
be
talked
situated
about that
upon
in
my
front of-
chest for when I wake. Would you not be alarmed of such a message yourself?
Bring it to
Would
South.
you not?
Let us go to South.
Okay.
Alright, so up you go into the dining hall. You walk in, and Ronve has got her normal feast in front of her. She's sitting there, and she is in conversation with Astrid. There is another woman with her. It's one of the senior sailors, the mid-thanes, they kind of call them. There's discussion. The helmsman is there. He looks like he's kind of winding down. He's smoking a pipe. In the corner, the Herseer is sitting with a couple of the more senior combative types, and they're talking shop over at a side table in the room. You also see Savroth is sitting there, just 2 chairs down from Ronve, and now Ayasa is sitting next to him. She's still kind of plucking away at her dulcimer and has got a plate of food in front of her.
Captain Ravne, Ronve, Captain Ronve.
Ravne.
Yeah, like,
¿Cómo estás, Capitane Ravne? Tengo un piece de papel, tengo un
Lord
dragón.
Savroth.
Mucho fuego dentro. Es
inspiration.
muy importante.
Lord Savroth. Commander Ronve. Masters of the ship. Master Zeronox has a report to give to you.
I told you it's your paper, motherfucker.
Oh, is that what I
You
said?
said it draconic?
Sorry.
Another inspiration.
I didn't expect my bad Spanish to come back from
For me?
you. No, me.
Oh.
From,
That was some
Your
excellent
paper,
bad Spanish.
motherfucker.
So,
Wait. Yes, is like, is that your paper?
it is the one that Rofras has found upon his chest after crushing
Oh,
that resembles a boat.
what is this, Rofros?
I woke up with this upon my chest forward to the ship of the dragon. It is clearly some sort of intel that was given to us. Swipe.
Sorry, there's a
Who's from
little thing
Comfort
flying.
or what?
Okay, I was like, did Ayasa actually do
No.
that?
She
Oh,
might have
okay.
actually done that.
I totally know that's what was going on
Okay.
here. Yeah.
She just saw something. She's like, "What was that?"
This was folded in some sort of origami shape upon my chest into the form of a dragon. I woke up with this, and it had a burning ship. Immediately I thought it was a threat of impeding attack from our very cocky pursuance. But I don't know. But as it seemed to be important, I don't think any of the sailors here wish to give this upon us, give this as a bruise upon us. Unless it was.
Tell us a story, Rofros.
What story would you prefer?
Of Crane.
In the Red Dragon, they are known to be an intelligent sort of tyrant. What of it? What stories do you want? Do you want to know the oppression of my people?
Crane never oppressed our people. Yet. Tell us of Crane.
He breathes fire.
And?
Take the shape of a tiefling.
Okay.
Who's speaking to me?
Iyasa.
Yes, what do you want? Yes, help me out.
All right. What does that paper show?
A burning ship. I cross-referenced it with Master Xeranax. It seems to be of a ship different to our own, so maybe not a threat. It could be a missive that another ship was burned in our favor. I don't know, but it is intel, and it should be presented to this table, and I stand by that.
And you think that it's because of our pursuers. That's what you said when you came in. Pursuers being
Lord Crane.
So
And the Purple Dragon.
You're afraid he's going to...
I'm not afraid. It's just...
You speculate he's going to...
Perhaps burn the ship with a great fiery breath as the seas among us to rest as our...
As we are in a wooden vessel.
It's quite flammable, isn't it?
Right. But this stems from Crane's threat to you and to us. What was his threat?
Destroy us after we've made the good weapon. But
No. What was his threat?
What's the rest of his story?
his threat was to harry us.
His threat was good luck finding something.
Good luck finding Volcondrol. Good luck.
Good luck finding
finding a vessel that was not compromised by his plots. Yes, like more or less. Like it's like pretty much good luck finding a ship that I haven't already bought.
that
Fuckers.
he already hasn't. He used a word.
Bro, for us to lose this is called
Compromise. Bought. Lorded over.
Charter.
Chartered. Yes.
Right. So he goes to a captain. He buys the ship to go somewhere. And then he does what with that ship?
By the fucking scales of my asshole. Yasa, if you have something to say to me, speak plainly.
Captain Ronve, if I will, I'd like to ask you something. Is there any amount of money that you could be paid to allow someone to burn your ship down? And Ronve is like, I don't know what's going on, but no. There is no amount of money that would allow someone to burn my ship down. That's not how... No.
Well, you have your intel. Good way. Good day! Oh, God. I'm very frustrated.
You're so slamming and yelling.
Well, I'm very frustrated because everyone seems to be looking at me like a fool. I've received something very distressing and everyone's looking. I need some coffee, mead, something. I'm not at my natural pace at sea.
I'm sorry, I've seemed to rile up our paladin.
Oh, shut it.
Sit down, have a meal.
I
Enjoy.
will not sit, but I will have a meal.
Steve's standing up because I'm so mad.
She levitates food up to you.
Thank you. Stop it. I will carry it myself.
I guess.
I know, yeah.
I guess I'll eat it.
I'm sorry if I think it's funny. If a person said they already chartered vessels and you thought they were going to burn our boat to the ground.
I thought maybe they knew which vessels were sailing that they did not charter, and therefore were sending us a mockery that they knew that they did not charter this vessel, and so they were going to burn it. They put it on my chest, and so therefore they wanted us to know that they will.
And then it folds up into the shape of a dragon again.
Perhaps check your bunk before you live.
You could have told me of this before I entered here.
But what fun would have that been? You could have...
Don't you dare.
I already did it.
Ever again.
Think twice before eating a fellow's scale, maybe.
Look at it, mean. In retrospect, this is kind of mean.
I do not know what to do because this insults you. Was this all for a ruse to besmirch my honor?
Sit and have a meal.
This has nothing to do with
You are here to mock me. Why?
Because you came to be mocked.
My lord, I cannot stand this against my honor. I demand. No, I don't demand. I'm going back to my room.
Just right, damn it. Just right.
I ain't writing shit down. This will not be in the annals of this history.
This will never be repeated. History will not show the folded dragon ruse. Well, that's the 3 hour and 10-minute mark.
Yeah, we're gonna call it there after the little prank that Iyasa pulled on Rofrost.
I will drown her.
No, we need her.
Dewey.
Drown Samra. Let's start over.
You swallowed some of the scale. You were afraid that someone's gonna burn down your boat.
Well, at least somebody cares about the fate of this quest.
None of the rest of us care about it.
Apparently. I hate you all. Goodbye.
I think Rofrost should take us out tonight.
Rofrost, take us out tonight.
If anyone's watching this stream, I hope you
Like,
share the hatred I have for
there's
me
no
and my fellow
escape.
compatriots.
If anyone's watching this, I need help.
Yes, please send help. Gosh, I really do hope that honor and goodness presides over all else in this. I would like to think it's a holy endeavor, but
Honor-
I'm trying to have doubts.
You spoke earlier of if you're just playthings of a god, but you didn't talk about honor and duty and all this other stuff. Clan comes first. That's the only way you know you're not slaves to something else.
Oh, does clan go first? Because I'm pretty sure my clan just made a fucking fool of me right now.
Yeah. They put
The
you
whole
back
thing,
into
Samra had
perspective.
nothing to do with it.
Did you all,
No, Samra had nothing to do with it.
out of character, did you all just kind of like...
Out of character, he had nothing to do with it.
Out of character, he barely knew what was going
all I
on.
did was put a paper dragon in your bed.
Iyasa gave him the
roll
paper
it
dragon.
too.
Did he
I
make
did.
He
you
made
roll?
me roll putting the paper
Did
dragon.
you see my
in your
passive perception?
You were asleep and you got a 26.
bed.
So 24, 26. It was up
At
there.
least 26.
You can watch it.
By the scales of my asshole, speak plainly.
You're so upset.
So
I didn't think it was gonna get that mad that quick, and then I was like, "Oh, this is Wiley
I was
fucking with Rock
so
hard right
upset.
now." Yeah.
I was so upset that nobody was taking this seriously.
I was trying to be cool about it, but at the same time, I was trying to like. The third time
Be
I played
real
a
about
card,
it too.
the third time I played a card hand, I'm like, so. Like, so man, I'm like, oh, I'm playing this too soft. I gotta be like more with you.
Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Please join us next time for the next wonderful tales of adventures and questing of Clan Goldath in our journey up north of the seas and under the pursuit of a red dragon who leaves origami probably.
who's gonna burn their vessel
It's gonna
down?
burn our vessel down so hard.
He actually might totally burn the
Yeah,
vessel down. I mean,
It's a real concern of mine. It's a real concern of mine.
that's why she tapped into it.
How clever of her.
See you next week, Wednesday.
Wednesday is 9:30 Arizona Mountain Time. It's different from everybody else. Make sure you check
Goodbye.
your time.
Thank
Cool
you
world.
specifically to our regular viewers, to Gin Bottles and Wes. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Hopefully your internet is better next week.